YouTube, he was looking for a fight to pick. He was in a bind, cash flow behind, and he really needed them clicks. When he came across old Steve McRae streaming with his partner Chesh, and a Unirock went on a slippery slope of narcissistic bullshit. Well, I'll call you both liars and say that it's just crap. And if you care, I'm gonna swear and I'll serve you up a slap. Now you talk total shit, Stevie boy, and Cheshire, she's a clown. I got a bottle of rum and I'll prove you're dumb and Uni runs this town. Well, Steve said, boy, you're crazy and this is gonna be fun. I'll take you on and prove you're wrong and watch everyone's laughter, son. Stevie's shopping up your claws and get ready for war. Cause Unirock went on YouTube with his lies and so much more. And if you win, you get to show he is a real fuckwit. A real head case, a total piece of shit. Uni opened OBS and said I'll start this stream. Vape pen in my fingerless gloves, damn I'm looking mean. And he pulled some shit right from his ass and splashed it on the screen. Trash talking chest like a drama queen and fucking up the scene.
Get Dick Dawson the fuck off my channel. Dick, fuck you, go to hell, suck it. What does this have to do with the evidence that I put out about Steve McRae cyber-stalking and harassing Kyle Curtis? About the non-sequitur breakup that completely changed the fabric of the story. In perpetuity, if you'd like. But I'll tell you one thing. I call your bluff. You're a keyboard warrior. You do not intimidate me, or I wouldn't be doing this stream. Now that's versus mode part 2. Now you know why Steve hates me.
When Uni finished, Stevie said, my God, you're such a tool. Now shut it down and shut your mouth, you motherfucking fool. Uni on the YouTube telling his lies. Stevie on the case got him in his eyes. Uni played the victim, poor little me. Just a call of bullshit, little bitch, please.
Unirock is just so dishonest that I really don't even know what to say about him. Let him run his narratives. He was astronomically wrong about AT2, Jared, and myself and other people. Nobody ever doxed him. Unirock is just a bully. I don't even want to, and that's all I want to say about Unirock. I mean, I don't even want to add about him. He is a piece of shit.
Uni bowed his head cause he knew that he'd been beat, and he laid that golden microphone right down at their feet. Stevie said, hey Uni, man, it's too bad you had a YouTube fit, but maybe now you'll learn you shouldn't talk all your bullshit. Uni on the YouTube telling his lies. Stevie on the case got him in his eyes. Uni played the victim, poor little me. Just a call bullshit, little bitch, please.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Anyways, that was the best intro ever of all time. Welcome to the Rum and Coke night on Saturday. I wasn't going to do something like this tonight, but unfortunately, or unfortunately, as the case may be, given certain circumstances, I'm giving special dispensation to allow to talk about certain things, because as you guys know, as a community, we were just like, fuck these people. We're not going to be having anything to do with them because they are the kind of people that promote hatred and promote shitty content for views, basically, and live for views. And so we didn't have much have to do with them. But as you guys know, Reds Rhetoric made a video. So he asked my blessing for that. He asked some other people's blessing for that. And I watched it. Amazingly good. One or two little things that I will be kind of correcting on it. And of course, a beautiful best intro ever that we ever had from Canadian Thomas, a.k.a. Dick Dawson. Yes. Was I supposed to give that away, that you're the same person? Okay, whatever.
No!
That is Canadian Thomas. That is Dick fucking Dawson, the man from the Shills. Yes, I'm yelling into my mic. So, Dick, that was amazing.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for showing that in the beginning, buddy. You know, really getting it out there because, you know, there was a few of us on the team and we just had to say our piece and fucking that was that, buddy. So well done, son. Love you.
Yeah, so, I mean, I know that you worked hard on it. I know that you contacted me and we're kind of working together on it to kind of get some of the, find the audio, like the audio clip you found was amazing. So that was great. I do want to talk about Vaping Vader for just a few. I don't want to dwell on it too much because I swear to God, I just don't think he's worth that much time. I mean, the dedication that Rez made, it had a 39-minute video, far more than I really wanted to invest in dealing with any of his stupidity. Because my position is very clear. Show me what the fuck you're talking about, because one, I don't watch his shit. But if it's actual evidence, then anybody can show me. It doesn't have to be him. I don't have to watch his shit for anything. If he has something that says that I've done anything fraudulent, or I've done anything that is illegal, or if I have committed any kind of crime, or if I've lied in any way, anybody can come bring it to my attention. Anybody. It doesn't matter who, right? But so far, nobody fucking has.
But Steve, right? Steve, hold on, Jared. But Steve, Unirock brought up one clear point, that you did a $10,000 fundraiser.
News to me. Well, we're gonna get we'll get into those things, because there's I broke my, it's not a cardinal rule, right? But people know I don't watch people's videos that I block. I watched a little bit of Vaping Vaders today only because it dealt with Reg Reddick, who is one of my dearest friends, and I think that if Reg make a video, I want to say a little bit about what Vaping Vader had to say. I couldn't stand to watch more than 10 minutes. It was pretty fucking awful. I mean, the things he was saying, I knew not to be the case. And so I know he lies for views. Whether you guys want to believe it on the outside feeds, that's your prerogative. Support who you want, watch who you want. I don't give a shit. But when he's running false narrative that I personally know to be absolutely the case, to be wrong, why would I want to watch him? Right? So we'll get into that. First things first, though, it is a Rum and Coke night. So I am drinking something that is new. If you guys can see that.
And transparent.
No, it's transparent.
Is it transparent? Fuck. How about if I do this? Does that work?
There you go.
Smart, huh?
No.
There you
All right.
go.
By the way, I will tell you this: it's not urine. Okay.
Oh, good.
It's bubbly. All right. So.
Bubbly urine.
So we have a sommelier in here, Mr. Landon Kurt Knoll. I wonder if he can kind of guess what I might be drinking. I'll give him a hint. There's only two things in here. Okay. There's one alcohol and there's a mixer. Can you guess either one?
And one of them is in urine.
And one of them, the other one is though. It's like that old joke.
One of them is first.
Yeah, like that old joke. I have 55 cents in my hand with two coins. One's not a nickel. What are the coins? Well, one's not a nickel, but the other one is. All right.
Yes.
Welcome, Landon. Yes.
Good.
Uh-oh, is he limiting his bandwidth? I used to.
Tomo Arigato, Mr. Roboto, Tomo.
Take out margarita.
Okay, what do you got, Landon?
I got a takeout margarita from La Fiesta.
Ooh.
I have
Yummy.
a Bootlegger's Hill 2015.
Nice.
A Pinot Noir. That's a collector's item there that I'm drinking because I don't library. I actually drink. And I do have also some grappa, some whiskey from Seattle, and some Jack Daniels.
Well, what do I got? I mean,
just
get. I mean, here, like I said, take a guess.
One possibility is it could be a Moscato.
It is not. It's
It
not
could
a
be
wine.
a Chardonnay.
It's not a wine.
No, it's not. It's not a Chardonnay. It's not a wine.
Chardonnay.
It's a little darker for a Chardonnay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What it is, it's called a Presbyterian. It is Canadian whiskey and diet ginger ale.
That is terrible.
And by the way, this is my.
That was fucking funny.
This is my third. I had when I first started about half hour or 45 minutes ago, I got Jared in here about 6 o'clock, and people came in early because I sent the link out early. And I was like 1.5 pour, right? And then I mixed it with ginger ale. And I said, screw the ginger ale. And I've just been topping it off with the whiskey.
The ginger ale just kind of interferes.
Yeah. It's,
That's generally a good choice.
My life is flashing before my eyes.
oh my God. My God, Manya.
Manya!
Hey, Manya's
Hello.
here. How you doing, Manya?
What's
I'm
Manya
very
drinking?
Yes. Manya, thank you, by the way, for becoming a right-hand member. And by the way, you look stunning. Did you get your hair done?
Nah. Just wash them.
Oh, because you can't go anywhere. You're on level 4 quarantine. Yeah. Yeah. She can't go anywhere. She's on level 4 quarantine. So they're basically
Yeah.
no bar hopping for you.
Well, failed at engineering, so you got to fail at other things too. Then, right?
Failure with her master's degree in engineering. So what are you drinking, Manya?
In my defense, it's 3 p.m., so I'm drinking coffee at this moment. So
Okay.
Okay.
I have my alcohol, but I don't have any. I forgot to buy juice last week, and I'm out of juice.
Well,
sorry.
when you become like us Navy people, you learn that you really don't need a mixer. It's just
Well, at this
Just
point,
like one shot.
at this point, I am
right.
I am
Irish coffee.
offended and insulted. I am offended and insulted. You have come to the table without the required elements to make sure that you can handle the stupid. May your salad bowl be full of word salad, and may your monitor be permanently punched.
Dick, you're pretty, but she's prettier, so she gets a full pass.
Hey!
And speaking of pretty, we also got vegan.
Don't come out my monitor.
Vegan atheist Coral in here, so wave hi to her.
I am.
What are you drinking? What are you drinking, vegan?
I am actually drinking Jim Beam Vanilla with some A&W root beer.
That sounds spectacular.
That sounds
It
good.
is delicious.
I'm going to try that.
So unqualified for this discussion.
She's out of her
It
depth.
sounds an awful lot like a root beer float.
Mm-hmm. I've had a drink that tastes just like an orange popsicle. I don't remember what it's called, but it's so good.
Call it the creamsicle.
It's like a creamsicle. It's so good. But anyway, who else we got? We got Sean, who's not drinking anything. I don't think. We got a lot of people in here. So, welcome everybody. I thought, hey, we got Jeff in here. Welcome, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
Are you drinking? Of course you are. You're.
I am.
You're Swedish. You're drinking.
I'm on. I've got a can of Heineken at the moment, but do have a little bit of Captain Morgan left over, which I might crack into in a bit. But
awesome.
I'm looking forward. I've got a bottle of rum, which should be on its way to me in the mail later this week. Motorhead rum, endorsed by the band. So,
well,
that sounds
nice.
Well, Lemmy's dead, but yeah.
Yeah. Motorhead.
I'm a big fan of Godless Scummers, so absolutely cool
Godless
to
Scummers
see
awesome,
you, buddy. Right on.
Yeah, hi, Dick.
and the ever beautiful Sweet has joined us, so we have to ask what she has drinking tonight.
Hi, Sweet.
Oh yeah.
The clouds have parted.
Well, can she talk about what she's drinking on air?
I don't know.
Sweet.
Hi, Sweet.
Unmute yourself.
You have to unmute, Sweet.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted.
Yeah, by the way, I did not mute you, even though I have the power to do so, because I'm the man.
Well, I am a woman.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just just sit there and look pretty. That's all you
Here
gotta
we
do.
go.
Let that get people get that sound going. Look at the way Steve talks to Sweet, right? People don't know what happens behind the scene, how bad she treats me.
Well, I was muted, so you didn't hear me say hello.
But I asked for it.
Yeah.
What are you drinking,
What are you
Sweet?
drinking tonight?
Yeah, what are you drinking, Sweet?
I have coffee and Bailey's tonight.
Oh.
Yes. Everybody's having.
Yeah, but Manya, she has the Baileys in it. You're slacking a little bit.
Yeah, Manya, right now you're behind.
Whiskey in Manya, and it'll be an Irish coffee. It'll be okay.
Yeah, what kind of I can't even say this word, by the way. Gynoocracy? What's the word that validation boy?
That's a funny
I
one.
love that word, though.
Gynocracy.
The gynocracy, yeah, from the...
Buddy, better practice it.
The uncalled for. By the way,
over.
I gotta tell you, whoever came up with that name, the uncalled for, fucking brilliant. You are a genius, whoever that was, because I don't know, but you're a genius.
It was farmed. It was farmed within the iNetwork when the ladies were dialing up the show and getting
It's
it
great.
ready.
I do like that show. Not gonna front.
Oh,
It's
they
great.
know what they're doing. It's a very good piece of YouTube. Oh, it is.
You're not
so
jealous
good.
that they're actually popular?
Oh, they're wonderful.
No, we promote it. That's the whole thing with the iNetwork.
Oh,
is all
promoting other
shows
people,
Are,
yeah.
free for all, right? You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
God
just-
forbid you get to promote other people and help other people, right? Yeah. What, Jeff?
Yeah, yeah. You know, others did it to us. I mean, that's. We kind of see it as something that has to be done, right? You bring it forward. You know.
Yeah, that's how I really do my channels, and the Great Debate community has always been something that we want to help people. Matter of fact, we'll be talking about that in a few about these fundraisers. But Jeff had something to say first. Jeff?
I was going to say, as we're on the subject of the uncalled for, I'm just going to chill something for myself for a moment.
Sure.
In case anyone missed it, they were on my channel earlier today, so if anyone wants to go and check that out.
Awesome.
We had them on for about an hour. We had a really good talk with the ladies, and Bull joined us as well. So
awesome.
Yeah, it was an amazing episode. Absolutely worth watching because he really got a bit more of an insight into who the ladies are and why the show is what it is.
Yeah, it works really well.
Very good.
They really do work well together.
I've only had one comment in my comment section about from it, and it wasn't very positive. Apparently, the ladies are all liars.
Oh well, they're female.
Anyone want to take a punt?
Validation boy.
Who? Yes.
No.
Let me add.
I just.
I didn't even know how the dude knows my name.
He's becoming the new puppy.
Yeah. Venereal disease boy. That's who it was.
Is he your new puppy, sweet? If you just want to play with Validation Boy,
so.
scratch him behind the ear and tell him he's a good boy.
Yeah. Keon's old news. We need a new puppy.
Oh man, she's leaving Keon for Validation Boy right here on my channel. Wow. Never thought that would happen.
I love it.
Keon's old news. Wow. That's harsh, man. Dumped right here live as a puppy.
She moved on pretty quickly, I say.
She gets over. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she gets over people.
I'm a very fickle feeling.
Right. Steve who? No, I'm kidding.
I'm not,
that was awesome.
I'm not too bothered by Validation Boy anyway, because I mean he's number of us, myself, I think Ilya, I think Chesh, Troglodyte have all offered to have conversations with him. He's not going to leave the safety of his
of course
own channel.
not. No, I watched that. I was like, I saw them call.
Bitch made.
I saw in real time them say, "Hey, we'll have a conversation with you." I mean, I'm sorry, but if the dude is intimidated by Sweet, which by the way she should be, but I mean, come on, she at least will have a conversation with him.
He's intimidated for the wrong reasons.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. His best comeback is whenever you ask him a question. His best comeback so far has been, "You want my shaft?" That's what his comeback has been.
Wait, what? Look, I get being shy, but when you're that bad, I mean, the point where you actually have to be offensive to women, I don't get that works.
Hang on. Does anyone here actually need a toothpick?
No, I keep one. I actually keep a toothpick at handy because I have I before I go on air, I brush my teeth. I have 6 things of toothpaste. I got a toothpick. I never want to be that one person that has like a piece of something stuck in my tooth or something.
Steve, that one's even larger. Even that would intimidate him.
Wow. Validation Boy, does this intimidate you? I'm sorry. It's whatever.
It's curved and everything.
Probably because it's probably longer than what he's got. I'm just speculating, but.
But I would have watched that. I would have liked to seen that. I mean, I don't know what the hell it is about the Uncalled For that he seems so intimidated by. Yes, they're formidable women. I would not want them pissed off at me. Let's be honest. But if they have an issue, I would be happy to talk to any of them and say, "What's the problem?" Right?
Yeah. Have a talk. Sit down and have a talk.
Yeah.
Wait. I got it. I got it now. We should stop calling him Validation Boy. Even VD is a bit too far for.
Reminds me of Valentine's Day.
Well, we don't want to either the most commercial or venereal disease. So instead, just call him toothpick.
Well, anyways, real quick. So
I have the best metaphor for the man you have ever heard. He literally is the waste of flesh that is a circumcision in the Jewish community. Absolutely unneeded.
Ouch.
I've heard that, yeah. And I know Dick Dawson keeps that for very selected few.
Yes.
That definition and metaphor, yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
Well, before I get into some,
only 2 people have earned that one so far, so it's a big deal.
Eventually, we're gonna get some sciencey stuff because we got Landon here and Jared here and Sean here. I want to talk about some Comet stuff. That Reds is rhetoric.
Please.
But before we do that, I'm sorry, we've got to talk about certain things first. So Landon's gonna have to be wait.
Don't tease me with science, Steve.
I'm not a tease. I'm not a teaser.
I'm turning on now.
Sapiosexual women, man. I'm telling you. You start talking nerdy and they just can't control themselves.
Keeping us.
Relax. I'm not going anywhere, ladies. Okay. Or men, I don't care. I don't judge. Dick is hot too. Right? So I'm secure about myself, right? I can say Dick is a beautiful man. I mean, is that wrong?
Right.
I don't care.
No, love you too, buddy.
He's a beautiful
Yeah.
man.
It's all about the dick.
So what does talk about
Well,
the
you
dick?
and Dick are in competition. Who has the longest hair? Like.
Oh, his is probably longer. Yeah, no, but you know what? Whatever.
Oh no, I win that one for sure.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
longer.
I
Yeah.
do.
Oh, that's rapping.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm,
Hey, Raph.
look it. I'm not a hair
I think
hater.
it's slightly longer than mine.
Yeah, they're allowed to have longer hair than me. That's not about the length, you know. But mine is smooth as shit.
Joking about delaying the
Mine
time.
smells like lavender and honeysuckle. Okay.
Oh wow. Lavender and honeysuckle.
Whatever honeysuckle actually smells like, I don't know.
No, I'm sorry, Steve, but you had me at suckle, buddy.
Yeah, did I? Good to know.
Oh, this is fun. This is really fun.
It's
Let's
Rum
do
and
this,
Coke
let's
night.
do this.
Rum and Coke nights are supposed to be fun, and you know what? It's a shame that we haven't had
Oh
a lot
my
of fun on them before last couple times. But
Oh,
I do want to
yeah.
get a few things out of the way because of the whole Red's Rhetoric video, for clarification purposes, because I'm a little confused. I watched a little bit of Vaping Vader stuff, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick, even though I should be. I don't understand fuck all what the hell he's talking about. I have never, ever once had a GoFundMe for anybody, nor have I ever received a GoFundMe or received any profits from a GoFundMe. Ever. I mean, I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Those are just mere facts, Steve.
If somebody
Well,
could,
I
look,
explain
if somebody could show me a
Can
12,
I explain this?
But
yeah,
Steve, can I explain this?
Yeah, let me get out there first. I want you to explain it. If somebody could show me a $1,200 fundraiser that I did, I'm unaware of this. If somebody could show me any fundraiser that I've had for anybody at any time, I am unaware of these things because I have not had a GoFundMe for anybody. I had one fundraiser,
Sean.
which was a super chat fundraiser for Leslie Bass. Other than that, I don't know what the fuck people are talking about.
Hang on.
Yeah, too many people are
Sean,
talking at once.
Let's go ahead and read the page that you found.
Oh, if Steve will allow, I'll actually share it on screen.
All right, so let me read these super chats real quick. First of all, Kawasa.
Oh, this should be fun.
I got to do the super chats because right now that's the only thing I'm surviving on. Super chats 10,001. Take my money, and he liked the intro. You know, he likes Dick's intro, so he liked the way he liked the way Dick intro. He liked the intro. Okay. And also we got Jackalope Herdmaster for $5. Started chatting, but then I remembered I forgot to pay the fee. I promise that it will be never happen again. LOL. Damn right. I'm gonna go to members chat just because you know. No.
You do realize everyone in this call right now had to pay Steve $20 just to get into.
Yeah,
the
and
call,
show their
right?
ID.
Yeah.
I had to pay
$20.
This link has gone out. No joke.
Whose dick did you suck? What the fuck?
You don't have to. Don't yell. Don't yell.
More, and then pay $20.
I don't have the exact number because Paul's not here, but I think it's probably over 100 people in the group that I send the email to for the link. So 100 people have this link to come in here. So.
Are you telling me that I should flash my tits then?
I have a separate Gmail.
There's more than one way in the club.
Yeah, I have a separate Google Meet for that.
That call, that
Yeah.
won't get you in the call. That'll just get you a rate.
You know how I got in the club? I tickled
flashed your
Jules Jules, and that's how I got in the club.
No, I made Dick Dawson flash. You're damn right. Okay, so what do you got, Sean?
Okay, let me preface this a bit because
Actually, like, I'm having a funny feeling listening to that.
Monty's like, really? I want to see that.
That was too fucking funny, man.
You're so adorably cute sometimes. I love that. Just so cute. Okay, go ahead.
All right, let's get.
Yeah, Sean, you have the floor,
Get
Sean.
back to the really fun.
Let's do this.
Okay. All yours, Sean.
okay. So just to preface this, I've been calling out Unirock about his lack of research and lack of actually doing any fact checking on some of those claims since September of last year. Well, tonight he decided to show his evidential spreadsheet again about all these fraudulent fundraisers, all these scam fundraisers. And of course, he brought up this $1,200 fundraiser that I've never heard of that Steve has supposedly held. And Steve has shockingly never heard of it. But he also showed one for a $10,000 fundraiser for legal fees that Steve ran when the whole non sequitur thing blew
When
up.
did this occur?
So, well,
Hang on. We
shush,
found
shush, shush. I found it in like 2 seconds of just going to GoFundMe and typing in Steve McRae. I found this $10,000 fundraiser that has actually earned $0 to date.
Well, let me share this because I'm just going to demonstrate
Okay.
Unirock's ability to actually research anything.
Leave it to Sean to pull this up, baby.
All right, Steve McRae, 10,000.
So here's the fundraiser.
Who's the start of this?
It is organized. This was started on July 2nd of 2019 under Dreams, Hopes, and Wishes for $10,000 goal. Has gotten $0 so far. The organizer is V. Lou.
Who the fuck is that?
Yeah,
no
really.
idea.
Maybe a troll trying to just cash in on it.
But
exactly.
Let's look at where V. Lou lives.
Sean, can I just pause in for 1 second there?
Secretly,
the avatar that was used for Steve McRae there is an old avatar, and I know this for fact, that one right there, because when he was on the shills last on the iNetwork, we used that avatar for Steve as a throwback to, oh yeah, baby, non-sec isn't done, and this shit is not sorted yet.
Yeah, I don't
and
use that
those who are paying attention got the inside joke. The others, well, they're just fucking, people that are not paying attention.
All right, hang on.
Right?
So hang on, Dick.
So,
hang on, Dick. So I haven't looked at any of this shit. So I don't know who this person is. Where they're from?
Blinghurst, Southeast England in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you actually live stateside, don't you?
I live in California.
Well, he was a member
on,
of
Dick.
the U.S. military
Dick, hang on,
forces,
Dick,
so I'm pretty sure.
Dick. I really don't want to hear this.
Dick is like, let me out of
Dick, get limp. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
love you,
sorry.
Dick.
I'll shut up. I'll shut up.
I love you, Dick.
Hush, hush. Let Steve go.
So Steve, according to Unirock and his research, which is just people telling him things, you started this fundraiser to get funding to do your court case against Kyle. Now, why would somebody from the United Kingdom start up a fundraiser? Were they going to pass you this money, or did you know anything about it?
I didn't know nothing about this. This is the first I've ever seen it.
So Unirock, just demonstrating once again, you don't know how to look shit up for yourself.
Yeah, I had all my stuff paid for from Glenn. That's the reason why I went to court. He offered to pay all the legal court costs and everything. So that's further that. So okay, that explains that Vaping Vader didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. Go figure. I saw the spreadsheet, and that's one of the things was like from Off the Hook. I didn't do a GoFundMe for Off the Hook. There was a GoFundMe for Off the Hook, Allison, who was a friend of mine, who got in an accident and needed medical things, and I felt that it was something that community should come together and try to help her with, right? And I will promote things. I promote things, GoFundMe. I didn't start the GoFundMe for her, so that's a lie.
I think that was FTFE, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
it. So you just promoted it. That's it.
Bullinator, did you start it?
I started it
for Allison.
At the request for Allison, yes.
Okay,
I
I didn't know that, but again, did I? Hang on one sec. On the record, because Vaping Vader accused me of starting a GoFundMe for her. Did I?
No.
Okay, so that's a lie
that
that he did. Okay, another one.
I was literally talking to Allison as I was setting it up, saying, "Hey, how am I going to get you this money? It's a GoFundMe. I'll set it up to go to you." Blah blah blah. I have Allison's. I set her up from the get-go before she even got any money in it.
Yeah.
She could access it.
And we're happy to help people out. That's always been the kind of thing we did with this community, right? And Bullinator, two things. One, when I think kind of stated it wrong. I was in 2018. I gave away 10% of my income. It's not something I do every year, but in 2000 I do help people. But in 2018 it was 10%. You could testify to that because you have actually seen my tax return. How much did I make that year? And you know how much I've given to people, which is well over 10% of that amount. You don't have to give numbers,
Yeah,
but
it is.
But
it's about 10% actually came to me as a thank you, Steve. So I'll just put that out there.
It was I probably gave you at the time I think it's 5% of my total net income, because you needed it. Because again, I wasn't making it very much. But he wasn't the only one. I've helped other people. I have donated to help Grez get a car. I gave him $100 to help his car. I have given $200 for somebody who needed a charger for their iPad. Right? I've given away money. I have no problem with that because I know what it's like to be in a position where I needed some help myself. But do you know how much money I've ever made directly from a fundraiser or GoFundMe? Zero. I had people help me with my chair, my mouse pad, my computer, my monitor, my microphone, actually my green screen I bought myself. right? My laptop I bought myself, but I've never had anybody do any kind of fundraiser for me. I've never benefited from anybody's fundraiser. That's their money. And so this weird narrative that all of a sudden like Vaping Vader saying that I'm somehow profiting from the community is ridiculous, because I can tell you right now, I've made fuck all. What I've asked people to do is, if you like the content, become a Patreon or become a member.
And if you have people become a patron or a member, and you step up and further your audio and visual capabilities and make sure that the show is moving forward the way you have, how can somebody have in any way an ignorant and uneducated fucking opinion on it? What the hell?
By the way, Steve. Oh, I have to say.
Hang on, Landon.
Hello there, David.
You don't know Unilock very well.
Hang on. I got to be able to control this because we've got too many people in here. So Landon first, and then my dear Manya.
Yeah. So, by the way, and hello there, Bulls. Well met, and glad to see you're around. And Steve, you may want to go to that GoFundMe page and report that particular.
Yeah, I'll look into it after the show. Yeah, I'll look into it. Yeah. Manya, what'd you have to say?
I think that what's that? I don't even know that Vaping Vader.
Vaping
I think
Vader.
so. He's just Vaping Vader. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I just don't like calling him by his real name because I just don't think he's worth the time to mention.
No,
I think when you're dealing with people that are so below the bottom of the barrel, I don't want to give him much of my time. I really don't.
I think so. I think somewhere he's frustrated that people don't trust him with their money, like our community does with us. I think he is frustrated because he's always like screaming for money, and he doesn't get that much. But as soon as we explain the reason why we are helping someone, we are all, like Red said, we are always open about it. If there's a mistake that has been made, we always accept it, and we go out and say, hey guys, let's come together and help this person. We don't do it for us. Someone always is doing something for someone else. So I think so that's why our community trusts us with their money. Whereas with
I think you're right. No, I think you're right.
I agree 100%.
I agree with you. How many people of you out there would trust Vaping Vader with any kind of financial monies? I mean, how many?
That's just it. Vaping Vader always puts his thing out for the PayPal and whatnot, but never for a reason. Whereas people from our community has put out the call for a cash, reserve to be pooled because they have a reason. And what did Reds do? He showed up with the photography gear and gave us the footage and so on and so forth.
He produces content. Sean, go ahead.
I've got 2 points to make real quick.
Honest about it.
First, when it comes to Unirock and his using the Streamlabs bot to promote his PayPal, I've never had an issue with that. I've been very public.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it. Just how much he does.
That's things that YouTubers do.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I've ever had an issue with him kind of being shady with his monetization is when he used the members only chat to get rid of criticism.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a little pushback on that. I do agree with you both those points, but I think the third point to be added is he has to make shit up and lie for content. And if people want to donate to PayPal because of that, hey, knock yourself out. People watch reality TV all the time. They know it's fake. And so that's fine. Yeah. I'm not going to criticize somebody who says, look, I'm being entertained by this. I know he's a fucktard. I know he's making shit up. I know he's lying about people in the community. Whatever. It's not his community, by the way. This is our community.
The second point
his is different. But would you agree that it's a different? Do you agree it's a different format altogether? When you have to lie to make things up in order to get people to donate, that to me is a little bit dishonest.
My second point's going to touch on that. Okay. When I was a member of his Discord server, it was countless times where he would put in at everyone, I got my bills due tomorrow. Please donate to Unirock at PayPal.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It happened 2 to 3 times a day that I noticed. And he doesn't do that on his channel, but he does do that in his Discord where he
says, I've seen it.
My bills are due. I need food. I need this. I need that. And it's always immediately followed by his PayPal link. So yes, he is using PayPal as his source of living.
So let me ask you, Sean. From a practicality standpoint, what's the difference between him doing that and us trying to help other people that actually need funds as well? I mean, and by the way, we're not the I'm not the beneficiary of any of this shit from the fundraisers. Again, people have donated my equipment and stuff like that, but for a fundraiser that he's talking about, I haven't made a goddamn dime. I am not a beneficiary, nor have I had anybody give me one. Nobody's done a GoFundMe for me. I've never asked for one. People will ask me at first after the Non Sequitur show if they wanted to, and I told them no.
What it all boils down to for his motivation here is he didn't make it onto Dumb Fuck of the Year panel. You became an easy target to lash out at. And then when that wasn't getting any traction, he decided to lash out at against everybody who even remotely knows you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me and you, Steve, we're acquaintances. We're not close by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. But we have a mutual respect for each other.
I think this is the 4th stream I've been on your channel the entire time I've known who you were.
Yeah.
I've been on many streams with you and Reds on Red's channel.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been on a couple of mine where you came along and, I'll let you in.
Yeah.
But we do respect each other. You're a very intelligent guy. I constantly have this troll joke I had with you about 0.99 and repeating 90.
We just hang out in different circles. That's all.
I mean, you deal with stuff that I don't deal with.
Right.
I deal with stuff you don't deal with, but we do have a mutual friend between Red.
Mm-hmm.
So I know who you are. I respect you. I've never had a reason to, bash at you. We've gone head to head. Don't get me wrong. Me and Steve have had headbutts, especially dealing with Dumb Fuck of the Year stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Tommy Hall thing. We were at each other's throat. And this last year, I was staying out of all of the personal drama. I voiced my opinion that Katie shouldn't be on the list. I was very vocal about that. But she was there. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I'm there to have fun with Dumb Fuck of the Year. I didn't want to go through the drama that me and you went through with Tommy Hall. So I didn't make a big deal out of it. See, this is the stuff that Unirock doesn't look into.
No, he doesn't
wants
care.
his narrative, and he wants to form a story that gets attention.
Yeah,
and that's all it is.
So I mean, is he under some weird view that I, and other people just sit in some kind of weird group and just kind of conspire against people? Because I can tell you right now, I don't talk to Sean that often.
That's how he does it, Steve.
I think that he does. But
Steve,
yeah.
I was paying attention to bits of what he was saying tonight, and tonight in that stream, he actually literally said that all these guys know each other from years ago when they would sit around in open hangouts and talk about philosophy and others.
No, that doesn't never happen with Sean or you. I have no offense to Jared, but even Jared, I don't associate with Jared that much either. We run in different circles. I mean, I was on the weekly veterans thing once or twice, and he's been on my channel once or twice. But I mean, I don't sit there and talk to AT2 Jared all the time. In fact, I probably talked to him more just recently than I ever have, just because of some shit. But we never did all this fundraiser stuff. Right now I can tell you, everybody's listening, I didn't talk to Sean nor Jared about any of that fundraiser shit, dealing with any of them. It didn't deal with me. I wasn't a part of it.
I think if memory serves, I can go through the PayPal. But I think you've actually donated once to me for like $20 or either $10 or $20.
Yeah. But I didn't make the fundraiser. I didn't.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all. But that's the only money I've ever gotten from you was for one fundraiser. There was, I stand corrected. There was one other time that you sent me money, and that's because I was in one of your streams and somebody sent a super chat,
and I will
directed towards me,
and I'll forward that.
And you forwarded that to me. That's the only time I've ever gotten money from you.
Yeah. And
it was forwarded to you as it should be done properly.
But there's other people that have asked me, and I've helped them out. Like, I'm not in a great financial straits right now, but I've given somebody a loan, and I gave somebody $200 to help them start being able to. They needed a charger for a tablet because they needed it for their channel. I pay it forward, right? Because people have been very generous to me, and I think that because people have been generous to me, I want to reciprocate. So this narrative that somehow this is like a bunch of scammers getting together, absolutely fucking bullshit. Because I challenge anybody, and I will give $100 of money that I really can use right now, $100 of my own money to a charity of their choice, so they can show any time at any place that I have made money off of GoFundMe. Anybody, go for it. And if they can't, they get one shot. And if they can't, they have to donate to the charity of my choice. They get one shot.
Well, it goes back to, he's
it's
going
good to the
on
end of
about
the
how he's going on about how, we never call out flat earthers quite properly the same way, or we don't call out globe earthers the same way we call it flat earthers about fraud and scams and all this. Well, here's a newsflash for you, Unirock.
Bullshit.
One of the first times that Morgile was doing a fundraiser, I actually sent him $10. I didn't know until later that he was buying drugs with it, but I didn't have a complete conniption fit over it. Yes, my last fundraiser, the big one, was to get me to break a lease, move to Florida with Red. On the way down, I was going to drop off my roommate because her family's in Georgia. It's a direct line along the same frickin' road. Well, my destination changed from going to Florida to New Jersey. That's all that changed. And he's having a complete brain meltdown over it. You know, I was able to break the lease. I was able to get moved thanks to Rez giving me a last minute loan because some crap happened with the ex. And here I am in New Jersey with a job. So the fundraiser was used for what the fundraiser was supposed to be for. And he doesn't want to believe any of it.
And that's the difference, right? When you're asking for help and you're asking for donations, it is critical. By the way, Brandon, can you mute real quick? Mute, Brandon.
Sorry.
Yes, okay. It is critical that you have to be transparent. I like to believe that I am probably one of those transparent people on the internet because I have put stuff out there that I probably shouldn't have because it's been detrimental, but I wanted to be honest with the people that subscribe to my channel and watch my channel. People have told me, Steve, you're too fucking honest. Stop doing this. You know, my close friends have kind of said I probably put out too much. But I want to make sure that the information is correct and it's out there. Like God's Auditor, like, you know, he said, you know, that, Vaping Vader says from YouTube. No, he said, I made money off of GoFundMe. Straight up, he used the word GoFundMe.
Yep.
I listened. I even rewound and made sure that was what he said. I'd like to know where this GoFundMe was that I made any money from.
To be fair, Unirock calls all fundraisers GoFundMe.
I don't care. I mean, this is what I'm saying. He his understanding of these terms, right, and he uses them so loosely and to be so imprecise in his language. Not saying that sometimes we can't be. I think Rez was a little imprecise on his wording of the 10% of giving of my funds because that only was in 2018 that was 10%. But I still give. But that was one year that I legit gave over 10%, which is verifiable. But my question is, how much did Vaping Vader give to any of these things? Has Vaping Vader ever helped any member of his community? Has Vaping Vader ever donated to anything? Has he ever helped anybody in need? I like to know this because I can tell you right now, everybody in this channel, it probably at some point has helped somebody. Most of them I know for a fact because I've seen it in real time.
To be fair, the owner of his local vape shop has, he's given very generously to him.
Okay, but honestly, I'm being serious. Can anybody tell me what he has ever donated? I mean, he might do a super chat here and there, maybe. I do super chats too. We all do super chats. That's but I mean, has he ever donated to somebody who's in need?
There's actually a really good one.
What's that?
There's actually a very recent super chat. If you want
I need to get that. Yeah, I'm sorry. The lovely lady Ayamoon of Ganocracy. Mwah. She says, love, love, love to this group for $5, especially sweet. Wow. Okay, just forget about the rest of it. Just put sweet up there. Put her on the pedestal. That's fine. Whatever.
The gynocracy is at
Gynocracy. Exactly. You know what? That's a matriarchal bullshit right there, sweet.
The guy.
Let's
the
get
guy
this back on track so we can wrap it up really quick.
Yeah, wrap it up because I want to move on to the Comet shit, and I want to make some more alcohol.
I want to make sure that this is abundantly clear to everyone listening. So hopefully this gets to them. The criticism levied against Vaping Vader is not the fact that he does. It's the hypocrisy that he shows when he is critical of other people and how they fundraise for what is going on. Because here's the great thing about all these fundraisers. They're voluntary, which means the people watching don't have to donate. It is a question, not an obligation. That is a huge difference that is conveniently ignored whenever he talks about it. So just remember, it is not obligatory that people support these instances when they come up, because guess what? Shit happens and we can't always take care of it ourselves, and that's where friends, family, and the people close to us come in, and when that is not enough, that's when a larger net is cast. It's almost like there's a progression to these things that take place before the public is even close to aware of it.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. Look, when Off the Hook needed help, and Bullinator, started the GoFundMe for her, I was happy to promote it, but I'm being like the person supposedly that started for her, which wasn't the truth. I have never done a GoFundMe for anybody. Not that I wouldn't. I've given to numerous GoFundMes, number of them.
But Steve, it's Vaping Vader. You are guilty in his eyes. But always, he doesn't care about that.
Manya, I totally agree with you. But you saw what Sean posted earlier about the 10,000 thing, right? Facts don't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh. All it matters is views and how much he can just extract out of his audiences. financially and emotionally. That's all he cares about. Have you seen his recent streams? They're like 8 hours long, 8
No, I
to
don't.
9 hours.
I normally
long.
don't watch it. Today was the first day I've ever watched one in like what, months, and I didn't watch much of it. I only watched a part of it because it was only. I mean, I watched the part where he showed the spreadsheet and he was talking about this $1,200 fundraiser, and then I was like, "What the hell is all this?" I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Legit, don't know. And
well, you should.
So,
sorry, Steve. You should just respond to him on Twitter, seeing as you can do a tweet that has 4 paragraphs in it.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah. So I guess for some strange reason, a 4-paragraph tweet is now you can have, and then I've illegally hacked Kyle's account on Spotify. Okay. Show me evidence of hacking. I don't think they understand what this word hacking means, but you know we gave that to the judge already.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you see how he chickened out of the live stream he was going to have on a certain channel after your affidavit came out, like to the judge, after you filed the papers? Ooh, somebody slipped out fast. I don't know. Like, it was so funny. And his excuse was that he was trolling. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, it's always
You put
a
it
joke.
out.
Yeah, it's always a joke, right? Yeah, the whole thing about convincing people that I hacked an account, trolling. The whole thing that they're streaming to the non-secret account, trolling.
His
Well,
audience
that-
Which,
has
by the
to
way,
think about it now.
Which is really fine though, because here the way we looked at it, Monty, is really simple, twofold. Either A, he's trolling, or B, he's serious. If he's trolling, okay, no harm, no foul. God just says he's trolling. If it's the case that he streams and he does, the judge has already made aware. And also, it makes Kyle be aware that we are monitoring these things and that the judge is monitoring these things for the court case.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. In his stream tonight, he said that, or was it from last night? I think it was yesterday. He said that he was trolling. It was apparent in his tweet that he was trolling and joking around. I read the tweet. There was no implication that there was any kind of humor or troll attempt. It was stated as a matter of fact.
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't until people had pointed out to me, and it wasn't until after the fact people told him, hey, dude, this clearly isn't a real tweet, you idiot. He's like,
it goes
when
back
the
to
heat goes up, he just like backs off.
But here's the thing,
And chickens
I've had
out.
people
that
pretend to be
actually
me
goes
for
back to the
years.
nice video that he did, because he was critiquing Red's video, but he says that he never watched it. He was just going by the timestamp that people gave him, and that of course Reds didn't address any of the topics that he was bringing up, and that he never criticized my dad's funeral. He never criticized Red's car, but he absolutely has.
He did all
I
that,
have
yeah.
those videos.
Yeah, he did all that stuff. So
but because Reds called him out on it, he had to completely flip.
He
flop.
backtracks.
Those fundraisers
he
were
retcons.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does totally back. And by the way, like I said, the fundraiser he's talking about my name attached to never happened. At least I never was the one that actually started them. So again, show me any dime that I made off these fundraisers. If you want to complain that I'm scamming people, show me how I've done so, because I would love to fucking know, because I've been on 8 fucking years and I've never had a single GoFundMe done for me. I've never been in the position where I had to have that, and I don't like having to do things like that.
Can I talk about how it's happened? Because Steve doesn't do fundraisers. He does fundraisers, and woo-wee, are they awesome, baby.
I like
You
helping
show up
people.
drunk,
Look,
you tear it off,
when
you
somebody-
let it loose, and you raise the fun, baby. Oh, fundraisers. Shit, I got it wrong.
When
Sorry,
somebody
I'll get
needs
out of
help,
here now.
I think as a community, we've always been a community that has helped our own. And I don't see any problem with that. And why somebody who's an outsider looks in and thinks that's harmful, thinks that's bad, that we actually go around helping people, that's a shitty human being. That's a straight up shitty human being. But God's auditor says, I'm pretty sure that he kicked me out of his chat for pointing out that Kyle's letter to the court admitted to 50-50. One thing he likes to say about you guys were never 50-50. Well, he's wrong. What do you want? I mean, he's
absolutely fucking wrong.
He's just flat
he
out
was
fucking
given
wrong.
the opportunity every time he spewed his fucking mouth off. He was given the opportunity to back it up with something that made fucking sense, but he didn't, because he literally steps up and spews this bullshit because he knows it spews his fucking bullshit channel on like the cow fodder it is.
Well, that's what it is. It's all for
what it
it's all for
is.
drama. That's what I want to get my side out. Is just that, look, watch what you want to watch, but his channel is all about drama. That's all it really is. And thank you, Moon, for becoming a member. I want people to become members and be patrons and support this channel because I like the content. If they think that I've lied, they could message me just like they did Reds, right? Reds made a video because it wasn't because of what Vaping Vader said. It was a message because one of his people that he liked and follows his channel, asked about things, and I have no problem with that. People that are part of your your fan base have a right to ask certain questions. A lot of times they ask the shit that's already been like explained 1,000 times over, and of course not going to spend too much time on that. But something like this, Reds answer the question in a very effective means. What I saw tonight, the little bit that I did watch, and again, I want you guys to fill me in because you guys watch this shit more than I do. I don't. But the little bit that I saw that he saw was not any kind of rebuttal to what Reds had. Matter of fact, it was just more lies compounded by more lies based upon his shitty understanding of what was going on with the fundraisers and making absolutely no sense because he's trying to put these fundraisers to people that have nothing fucking to do with them. Again, I never done a fundraiser to anybody. I didn't have this $10,000 legal thing. That had nothing to do with me. I just found out about it. He doesn't care about those facts. Let me finish and then you guys can do your thing.
Sorry, Jeff.
Sorry, Steve, my thing is that if you're the person that wants to watch his content because you're being lied to, I don't give a shit, right? Even if you don't know you're lied to, I don't care. But I want things to be out there that are factual. I care about what is true, and I know that my friends care what's true. And that's the difference, right? So I mean, this whole $10,000 fundraiser, we know that's bullshit now. Is he going to correct anything? Fuck no. Is he going to correct the fact that I didn't make a dime off anything? No. Is he going to correct the fact that I didn't start the fundraiser for Off the Hook? No. This $1,200 or $1,200 fundraiser never happened. I don't know anything fucking about it. I don't even know what that's in regard to. He doesn't care about what he's considered evidence is what we call opinion, an unsubstantiated narrative. But anyways, I'm going to turn it over to you guys, and we're going to talk about this Comet so I can bring Landon in here and get something interesting.
Oh, here. Let me jump in here quick. Sorry, guys. I'll get the hell out of your way, but give me this one here.
Sure.
So I'm going to call him the Bionic Buffoon because, ladies and gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We can make him dumber. And we can make him more full of shit. And we can make him the biggest liar there is. We can build the world's first bionic bullshit. Holy fuck. This guy drives me insane. Everybody right now watching this, if you agree with anything that Steve has said tonight, please unsub from Uni's channel and get ready for the dramatic return of the Non Sequitur Show when the rightful owner, Steve McCrae, takes the power back and brings you what you've always been wanting. Love you, buddy.
Thank you. And we do expect we do expect the Non Sequitur to come back. People that may not know, we have filed another a supplemental affidavit based upon some of the things that Kyle has done. He has actually he has done something against what the judge has ordered, and so that is called a sanctionable event. The clerk of the court has been made aware of this stuff. Matter of fact, he's the one that told us to do a supplemental thing. He's like, the court is kind of effectively shut down, but the judge can rule on this. We know about it. You're on the top of our list. They're trying to do it at the same time as they have a hearing for the order to show cause is what I figure, because the order to show cause requires him to actually go in front of the judge. Unless they decide to do it electronically. So they were going to do it all at the same time. They know now they can't actually do this at the same time. I've already predicted, and I tell you right now, his motion to set aside is going to get denied. I mean, there's just no legal standing for it whatsoever. I mean, that is, but worst case, even if it wasn't going to get denied, hypothetically, and again, miracle, right? Because it's just not the way it works. But that means that what's in effect is that it is still my channel. Because the judge has decreed it to be my channel. That is a fact in evidence that is objective that you can go look at. He has been holding on to my channel. He has put something in the community section on my channel. And he said that he would turn over the channel to me if the judge directed him to. The judge did. He lied about that. That's a straight up lie. So there we go.
It's funny that some of people who are following Vaping Vader, they're like, oh, so Kyle has submitted his paperwork, so there's nothing happening now. So maybe the judge is thinking about what Steve submitted.
No, that's not what happened at all.
Are you crazy? How do you know what the judge is thinking about? Till judge comes back on anything with what Kyle has submitted, the default judgment stands.
Correct.
That's what the last judgment was, and that will stand. Steve owns the non-sequitur show. I will advise Kyle, I'll advise anyone else, don't go around fucking with that channel because you are playing with the law now. You're showing blatant disregard for the law. Don't do that. It's a friendly advice. Take it, or you can shove it up your
Well,
ass.
at least, but see, now the court knows that he is doing stuff like that. They are aware. These, like I said, these are called sanctionable events.
Yeah.
When you fail to comply to an order and you, quote, willfully disregard. That word willful is meaningful in that context. That is the legal term.
I love this girl. She's
Right?
amazing.
Right? We're all in love with Manya.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to call tonight. We have a big-ass move to do tomorrow. So.
Oh, nice.
Well,
I'm
good
going to
luck
call
with
out.
that.
All right, thank you, Sean.
Take care, Sean, man.
We're gonna get some other people.
Sean.
We're gonna get some other people to wrap this up, and then we're gonna move on to Comet stuff.
I'll just say one thing then. Well, this place in England where you're supposed to be doing this fundraiser from is like one county over from where I live.
I've never
And
been to
it's
England.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually a little village with about maybe about 6,000 inhabitants or something. Strange enough, it's got a good entry on like Wikipedia, but when I look through the notable people, I don't see the name Steve McRae at all.
And I am notable, damn it.
I see Harry Enfield, who that name might not mean much outside of the UK, but he's a big celebrity in the UK. But that's about it.
I know him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know who Vi is. That wasn't from me. But again, facts don't matter when you're Vaping Vader. Again, this is why I don't spend much time with him. I don't talk about him on my channel because there's no reason to. Everything he says is wrong. This is the reason why I stopped hanging around with him, and I stopped telling him anything. But in fact, Manya was there when he legit said, I don't give a fuck if it's right or wrong. I'll fix it later. I just get it out there, my opinion, and then what I do is I just put it out there, right or wrong.
I'm the
let people see.
witness. Yep.
Yeah, and he didn't care. I was like, so you don't care.
say.
Wait, Manya. So did he not? When I asked him, so you don't give a shit whether something's true or not, you just want it out there and let people do what they want with it. Did he not fucking say that's exactly what he wanted to do?
Yeah, he said,
Disgusting.
I will do what I want to do. I'm not going to be influenced by anyone else.
He
and
didn't
we were
care.
Like, we're not influencing you guys. We
Yeah.
explained it to him again and again. Dude, we are trying to help you with facts. Facts are important, and he doesn't care.
Yeah, so what
All he
what
cares
happens when I
about
get something
Bitcoin,
wrong?
That's it.
If I get something wrong, not only do the shit fucking people will come after me, my own fans will go, Steve, you fucked up, right? I mean, I'm like, but unlike Vaping Vader, I don't ignore the people and go, oh, I fucked up, okay, ignored, blocked, go away. He does that. He just blocks people that said you're wrong. I say, you say I'm wrong, I've done something wrong. Come on in, have a chat. Let me see what the hell are you talking about?
Hold on. I'll say this, Steve. You and I have some very different opinions on some certain theist things and whatnot because I don't play that game at all. But as a human being, you and I have had some of the best conversations ever. Anybody that is not willing to step up to the plate and at least lay out who they are and fucking lay it on the line and have a chat about it, they're a little bitch. And you know what? They want to just fucking suck it, man.
And if people want to think I'm a little bitch, then they haven't watched any of my shit because I will take on anybody if they think that I've done something unethical or wrong. I'm happy to have a conversation. But you know what happens? But this is what happens. Whenever people say, well, Steve lied about this, and people look into it, they go, what the fuck are you talking about? Because it never has happened. I swear to fucking God. Why would I go out of my way to lie to anybody? I'm the person who stops what the fuck I'm doing and says, I have to fix this because I fucked up. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've seen it many times. Half the time when you're doing your theist commentary, I don't even know what you're talking about because it's not
I have a question.
my realm at all.
I have a question.
But I love it because the man stands behind what he believes.
I have a question from Negative
says so.
Exponents. He says, I have to ask you about the claim being made that everyone with access to your email was logged into Kyle's SoundCloud and deleted it. I have to ask and hope you understand. I don't even know what the fuck SoundCloud is.
Yeah, I also came to Steve. I'm like,
I don't know what the fuck SoundCloud is. I thought he was talking about Spotify.
What did you do? And he was
Do
like,
I have to?
I did nothing.
I don't have anything on SoundCloud. I don't know fuck all about SoundCloud.
Do I have to throw in and be the old guy and say no? I don't either. Damn it!
I wouldn't even know where to begin. Isn't that wait? Is it SoundCloud Apple product? Wait, that's Apple, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I know.
No,
Of,
I think
I know
so.
of SoundCloud. I just don't know much about it.
Yeah, nobody. And by the way, nobody has access to my email. Nobody has access to my email. My email is heavily encrypted. I've got two-party password protection on just about everything.
SoundCloud to me sounds like it came from pre-IRC days.
I mean, I've heard of it. I thought it was an Apple thing for storing music, but I don't use SoundCloud. But nobody uses my email.
iCloud, I guess. But, yeah, I don't like Apple. I don't
So
use Apple
does that answer your
really.
question, Negative Exponents? I don't know what the fuck SoundCloud actually even entails.
Yeah, I'm a Linux guy, so bring on open source.
But nobody has
Woo!
access to my email. No.
It's ridiculous.
Not even my besties. I keep my and I've, by the way, I have multiple emails. I have a public account that I use for catch-all. That's my Steve Ask Anything, which I don't give. That's my catch-all. But I also have a Great Debate Community email as well. I keep that a little bit more closed because it's for more important things.
But he has a private email, and I've seen his tits.
Who hasn't?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what she's talking about. Spotify, I know what Spotify, yeah, but that's not Spotify and SoundCloud are about the same thing, are they? I mean, those are totally different things, right? Yeah. But this narrative that he was hacked. If you're hacked, where's the evidence he was hacked? Because I don't think they understand what the word hacked means. Because I talked to my lawyer, and my lawyer's like, "Yeah, this is bullshit." So,
Steve, SoundCloud.
It's defamation.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Landon. Landon, go ahead. Landon has the floor.
If somebody was hacked, I want to see
sounds. Excuse me.
Landon, you
Go
have the
ahead,
floor.
Carmine.
No, you have the floor, Landon.
If somebody was
Dick,
let him talk.
Dick, hush. Go ahead.
Landon, if
I will
somebody
mute
was
you,
hacked, I want to see
Dick.
a
I will
white
mute
paper on
you.
it.
I will mute you, Dick. I'm about to mute you right here. All right, go ahead, Landon.
I had a good joke for Landon. Come on.
It has been hectic. Okay, everyone, Landon, what have you found out?
Oh, say so. SoundCloud, by the way, is not associated with Apple. It's a European, mostly music sharing system. It's typically you see, and it's a lot of people in Germany that use all those. It's worldwide. So in case you want to know what it was, and it's nothing with Apple. It's basically a distribution music.
So why am I being associated with SoundCloud here?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Doesn't make any sense.
Is it actually a site, a SoundCloud site?
I don't know. It was Spotify or was it SoundCloud?
Spotify, I'm aware of. I know it's Spotify. I know all about that, but I don't know fuck all about SoundCloud.
It's been around since about 2007.
Oh.
Yeah. Established. It started off mostly in Germany, but it's a worldwide subscription system.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I told my lawyer about this quote, a charge of hacking, and of course that is defamational, and so we did put that in a supplemental. We want the judge to know these things, right? Because if people are going to go on my account, which is a non sequitur show, and illegally hold on to it and then say defamational things that are completely bullshit, yeah, people need to be aware of that, and judge needs to be aware of that. And so we're waiting for it's eventually going to fall into place. It's just a matter of time, But no, I don't know anything about SoundCloud.
I'll just say something on this hacking allegation, okay? Just people think about this for a moment. People watching, listening to this. What purpose? I mean, that would be like the worst thing in the world that Steve could do for himself to this point.
And if I was that good at hacking SoundCloud, I would do it to YouTube and get my channel back.
Yeah, exactly. He would have got this channel back a long time ago. But especially if he's in in litigation at the moment. Why would Steve do something like that? Just ask yourself that question. And for those of you who were dumb enough to believe that shit Vaping Vader put out with that tweet, whether it was meant as a joke or not, I have my own opinions on.
I think it was serious.
Why he?
I think it was serious.
Well,
yeah.
This is just my opinion, and I could say I can't prove that. I've no evidence of this. This is just what I think happened. I think somebody probably sent it to him, and he didn't bother to check anything.
Right.
And then,
I think so. You're right.
He just put it out, and when he got called out on it, how obvious the bullshit this was, he just tried to pass it off.
I don't even use I've never even used a VPN in my life.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't know that's what happened, but that's just what I think happened.
Yeah, I don't know where they get this. Like I said, I've cracked software before, but I wouldn't even know where to begin to hack something. Wouldn't even know where to start.
But you know, but you know, like even if you did see, what purpose would that serve? You know, that'd be the worst thing you could do for your legal case right now is to engage in activity like that. And if you were dumb enough to, if you any of you were dumb enough to believe that tweet, if Stephen had actually engaged in illegal activity, why the fuck would he tweet about it?
I will tell you right now on air, I have not done fuck all that's illegal. As a matter of fact, I asked my lawyer all these questions, and my lawyer has a responsibility as my legal representation to tell me if anything I've ever done is illegal or anything from day one. Never has he said I've done anything wrong. Straight up, never. He's not once had said you've done anything illegal or we need to do this. Nothing. He has been mortified by the amount of fuckery that's going on. Matter of fact, my prior lawyer, the one that left to go do a financial planning, he was even more mortified. He could not believe the shit that I've had to deal with. And he was actually, I liked him an awful lot, but unfortunately he transferred to the senior partner because he went to go do another thing. But yeah, it's like they have an obligation to tell me if I've done anything, and guess what? Nothing. I've never done anything illegal or unethical.
The thing is, Steve, here's the thing. I mean, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you were inclined to do something illegal. Okay, it's a hypothetical. I don't think you'd be dumb enough to tweet about doing it publicly if you were inclined that way.
Yeah, 4-paragraph tweet. How does that happen?
Exactly. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he did believe it. I think that he just didn't understand that you don't have 4 paragraphs in a tweet. But yeah. Anyway, so let's get some other people in here. I want to get comment stuff because I want to get some sciencey stuff in here because I know Landon gets excited about that. Vegan, Manya, Sweet, they all get excited on that. So if I get Landon, Manya, and Sweet and Vegan all decided at the same time, it's a good show.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh yeah!
Right? Hey, Landon, you want to help me get the sapiosexual women excited in the chat?
Yeah, well, it's always exciting about my favorite universe. So, yes, we have a comet on the way. Of course, I have lots of comets on the way, but this particular one is known as Comet Atlas, and the reason why it's called Comet Atlas is because the Atlas, the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System Survey on Mauna Kea, discovered it. And it's called also C2019Y4. And it's exciting because it may get to be the point where you could see it with your eye. Now, it's question, and there's a big debate about whether or not it's going to be really spectacular or just kind of spectacular or kind of faint.
Well, first, okay, as I understand it, and you can point it out. I looked at the elliptical path. It looks like it's going to pass very close to the sun, tens of millions of miles away. If it survives that, it's going to be the end of May. It could get to a negative value of magnitude. It could be very, very bright.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, it's on a path, and in fact, it's on a path of a family of comets that get within about a quarter of the Earth-Sun distance. So it gets quite close to the sun.
Yes.
And it's currently on about a 4,400 year orbit, and so we're seeing it come around. Now, unfortunately for folks in the northern hemisphere, after it passes behind the sun and near the sun, it's going to go into be more observable in the southern hemisphere than the northern hemisphere. So when it comes back around behind the sun, it'll be near the constellation of Orion, and so the folks in alleged places like Australia will have a good
New Zealand.
We'll have a good.
You're in level 4 lockdown. You can't even go outside.
Dang it!
So what's the earliest
like alone for a few minutes? Like it's not the lockdown is if you're alone and you get out of the house for like 30 minutes or something on your own, doing your own thing, that's fine. And so yeah,
you have us. You're never alone.
Distancing. But if you go to whatever. But if you go to a place where there's already a crowd, they will come in and disperse that crowd. So
which is understandable. I mean, this is why I'm against those church functions and people are like, "Oh, we need to go to church." No, you don't. God will be understanding. I assure you. But so when's this? Okay, so what's the earliest it might be visible to the unaided eye? Like the very earliest.
I mean, the very earliest might be in April, but of course, it's going to be near the sun as it gets bright. It's going to be more.
So you can only see it when the
sun's
sun's going down, right?
Yeah, because the angle of this comet's about a 45-degree angle from the Earth's plane, so it's coming up high, going back.
So is it going to be best
the sun, and then coming below? Right?
Before then, is it going to be best to, if you can see it? Is it going to be somewhere to see it when the sun's setting or when the sun's rising?
Well, I believe in the case of this thing, it will be I mean, it's right now you can actually see it in places like Camelopardus area with binoculars. But I think again it's going to be in the dawn. At dawn in the area of the constellation Orion for Southern Hemisphere watchers. Now the problem is that predicting how bright a comet is notoriously difficult. It depends. I mean, the worst case is it's a giant rock with a little bit of frost. The frost melts off, and you just get a rock not very bright. The other thing is it could be really spectacularly effusive and eruptive, and get all kinds of big tail. But part of why people are excited about this is this orbit is part of a very old comet that broke up, I think, about 5,000 years ago.
The Great Comet.
And it's had some spectacular pieces come forward. The Great Comet of 1843, 1844 was an amazing comet, one of the brightest ever seen. It also has things like Izaki comet that was in the. I believe that one was it.
Did the Great Comet break up then? I mean, this is in the same path as the Great Comet, but did the Great Comet actually fragment, and this is one of the fragments from that?
It passed really close to the sun and was observed. It was actually observed in daylight, about a degree away from the sun. But it was last observed in 1843, and the comet, has not been seen.
So probably
since.
Fragmented.
Yeah. Now there's also with a comet of 1106 that was also quite bright from that same set, and Comet Ayase is part of that same set. Is also following the Comet 1882. So there's been a bunch of big.
So how big is this fragment?
So
we go ahead.
So do we know any other information on this comet? Like someone in the chat asked, ask Landon what the estimated mass of the comet is. So do we know any other information, like the size or anything like that about this comet at all? Or is it we just know that it's a fragment of an old comet coming around?
It's a fragment of an old comet. We don't have a current mass on this. I mean, current size estimate. One of the problems with trying to do size is that because the comet is boiling away lots of stuff, it's hard to tell where the solid part is and where the gas is. So at this point, right now, we don't have a good thing. We hope to get more telescopic data as it comes in closer.
But it has a lot of outgassing right now, right? Even still.
Yes, and it's got a nice green glow to it. You can see it in right now.
Is that oxygen that's causing that, or chemical?
Let's see. My mind is blanking on what the green gas is. There's a particular emission.
Is it? I know it's outgassing, and I know that they think it might actually outgas itself and get near the sun and kind of fall apart.
Yeah.
Before we get a spectacular.
So various models suggest that it's going to be in magnitudes between maybe 3 and -1. So what that means
-1 would
is
be brilliant. That'd be great.
What 3 means is that if you were in not too bright of a sky, you might be able to see the stars. If you could see the stars of, let's say, the Big Dipper for the Northern Hemisphere people, or in the Southern Hemisphere, if you could see all the belt of Orion clearly and so forth, you could probably see it down to third magnitude. But again, it's really hard to tell because it depends upon the composition of the comet. Right now, it's something where you need big binoculars to see it, and it's not very big of a
Yeah, I was going to say,
tail.
what's the angular diameter? Because it'd be negative. If it's -1, Beetlejuice's got down to about -1.3, which is still pretty visible.
Yeah.
So even if it is a -1, what's the angular diameter to see it? How diffuse is it?
By the way, I remembered it's diatomic carbon is what
Diatomic
the,
carbon.
green.
Excuse me. Okay.
And it's
Sorry.
about the tail. The Comet area is about it's actually about 10 arc minutes, so that's about a third the
10 arc
size of the
minutes.
full moon.
That's actually pretty decent. Yeah.
So it's a distance thing. But it was discovered when it was very far away, and it's had about a 4,000-fold increase in brightness so far because it's getting close to the sun, getting warmed up.
Oh, I have a question.
Yep.
Sure.
So you said that
What is
it's going to be visible in April by the naked eye in the southern hemisphere. But what if somebody had like an amateur telescope or something like that? What would someone from the northern hemisphere be able to see it?
Well, let me clarify again. Right now it's the northern hemisphere. It's better seen in the northern hemisphere objects. It's passing below Camelopardalis, and you can see it in the you can see it with astronomical binoculars or a small telescope. As it gets close to the sun, it's going to be hard to pick out, lost in the glare. As it comes around, again, at that 45-degree angle, it's going to be in the constellation of Orion, and the people in the southern hemisphere will have a better view than we do.
We got a super chat real quick. Little Miss Betty Page, aka Tank Girl Junkie. Well, thank you, Tank Girl. She says, "Love Rum and Coke, but I feel left out. Enjoy. Wash your hands." My hands are like immaculate, but I keep my hands immaculate anyways. I am not like I said, I'm not a germaphobe, but people probably think I am. I wash my hands a fuck ton. I like to have clean nails. I like I don't like grease and shit on my hands because I think it's a throwback to when I was a mechanic in the Navy. I hated getting grimed, and so when you get off watch and you take that shower and you just clean all that grime off, and you still have that it's still on your fingernails. You can never actually always get it off. I hated that. It drove me fucking nuts. So I got very clean hands. Look at that. But thank you. Yes, wash your hands. Don't socialize. Come on, you guys could be without people for a few weeks. Online.
I'm actually happy.
So the other thing, I think in fact you could probably see it as it gets close to the sun in this.
Brandon has the animation if he wants to show it.
Up until maybe about maybe beginning of May, mid-May.
I've seen the animation, but you want to see the animation, people?
Please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Let's do it. Go ahead, Brandon. Show.
And actually,
Absolutely, please do.
before and a little bit of an overlap at the beginning of Rum and Coke tonight, Reds and Astronomy Live were live on Reds' channel showing their tracking and their observation of the comet live.
Yeah, you mean they actually use equipment that, from the community that actually put forth videos that people watch? I mean, God forbid they didn't lie about this shit. Holy crap, right?
Man.
It's like this computer was donated to me, and guess what I'm using this computer for and microphone? Oh wait, to put out content. I'm not using it to sit here and watch porn. Yeah. Not on this computer, at least, because it's virtual. But
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
So
sorry, Landon. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
No, I was only going to make a silly joke anyway, so go ahead, Landon.
Oh, sorry.
By the way, you ever by the way, just real quickly, do you ever have an upgrade in your computer for porn? You go from like 8-bit to like high res. I didn't know certain features even existed on women until I discovered high res. I mean, yeah. I'm telling you, man, when you had like the dial up and you had to go like 2400 baud and you have it like resing like this and you're like, wait, nipple, and it's an 8-bit color. Yeah.
Yeah. So we think this comet is going to survive its path around the sun. Right now, it coming in, it had a orbital period of around 4,400 years, and when it passes closest pass to the sun will be on May 31st, and by the time it leaves the system, it'll have a period of around 5,200 years. Basically,
so it's a captured comet. It's not going to leave permanently.
Yeah,
not that we'll see it again.
It's going to come. It'll come back in another 5,000.
Yeah. So, Brandon, you want to show
200 years, and it is possible, Steve. it is possible that a comet might come back before you get your money.
Okay, might be. Might be. So God Honor gets it. He remembers the days when you had rabbit ears, right? And you had selected on TV, and you had UHF, and you had to like adjust it just so you can like see it scramble, and you had to detune it a little bit. And yeah, we remember those days back in the day.
Let's see.
Right on tinfoil.
Tinfoil. If you don't know how tinfoils and rabbit ears relate, you didn't live a proper childhood. Yeah.
Yep.
I have a question.
Yeah, hang on 1 second.
Brandon,
Brandon, why don't you show that video? Let you ask her question.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead and ask a question, but Brandon, go ahead and show your video.
Okay. So my question is, what was? Oh yeah, sorry, Brandon.
No, I said I wanted to see the animation. I didn't.
Oh, I thought you had it. I'm sorry. My bad. Okay. My bad. My
This-
mistake. All right, Manya, go ahead.
Okay. So
Sorry.
my question is, what was the in number of years? What's the length of the path for this comet?
Well,
Sorry. Yeah.
Coming in is around 4,400 years. Leaving will take it about 5,200 years.
We're going to call that one
that's
Kyle.
correct.
5,000 years is one Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle.
And you know, it's currently it's visible through the constellation of Perseus, Camelopardalis, is where we see it now. It's going to it'll be in the Taurus constellation, heading towards Orion, as it comes back around the other side. And the nice thing about the May 23rd, there'll be a nice new moon. So, but again, it'll be probably easier for people in the southern hemisphere to see it.
So the real question people want to know, Landon, is that for the best reception, should you have a coat hanger that's square or rhombus?
I would say the rhombus thing.
I thought so too.
More control over the.
Yeah.
But
yes, people. Shape of the antenna matters.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Shape and size makes a difference. Yes, it does.
The power bubble around your antenna that gets affected because of that and all that shit. Yeah.
Yes. So Sweet's been awfully quiet. Let's bring her in real quick. Do you got anything to add on this, Sweet? Because you've been so quiet and.
Yeah.
That's unusual.
There's a lot of talking. I have nothing more to say. I'm just chilling.
You're just chilling? Are you just watching Netflix and chill?
Yeah, I'm watching.
Because that actually means watching
while I'm
Netflix
here.
and chill, by the way, nowadays.
No, I'm like hearing about the comet. I don't know too much about it, so I'm learning.
So, but again, people are excited because this particular comet is known for being able to, fragments of it has been quite bright, and we've had other chunks of this thing that broke about 5,000 years ago that have come through and have put on really great shows. So the current kind of curves say there's going to be, well, you'll be able to see it if you're in dark sky and see a little bit of a fuzz, whereas other things say, well, it might actually be quite spectacular. So wait and see. We do have there are nice maps you can find. Go to Sky and Telescope. That's Sky and Telescope.
Yeah, I've seen the maps where it's going to be, and I'm not in the clearest of skies. And one of the things I do regret living where I live is that I would love to be in a clearer sky area that had a small little, dome that I could put God, if I had an 8 to 12 inch, telescope, I would be thrilled to death. It would be like the culmination of my life to be able to do things like that. I would be thrilled because the first time I got to tell you, I'm not even exaggerating. The first time I was in the darkest of skies, I was much later in life. It was on my trip to Nevada, and there's a place in Nevada when you go through these back roads. There's a little town, about 100 miles outside of Amboy, and there's a railroad track there. It's called Morningstar Road. There is nothing, legit nothing, for like 100 miles in every direction. When you look up,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I thought I was in a different reality because I saw things. I was like, it is a totally different experience seeing the Milky Way and star clusters and things unaided. With binoculars, you can actually legit see them, like the M4, M5, double cluster. I mean, it's just, oh my God, beautiful.
And if you're dark adapted, isn't that a wonderful thing to see?
Yeah, or dark adapted, but yeah,
dark adapted
and meteors and oh my God, it's
by the way, another proof that the Earth isn't flat is that southern hemisphere people will be able to see it after it passes by the sun, and we will see it beforehand. I mean. if with flat Earth, we'd all
That's
go
just-
see the same
that's
thing.
just
but-
NASA
but
lies.
Yeah.
You know,
I have
Darn you,
That's a
Lindsay,
lie.
with your facts.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
substitute your
Show
facts
for
with
NASA.
my, with my narratives. So AT2 Jared, real quick, did Reds get accused of being a flat earther or just being a flatter, like on the same level?
No, I think he was trying to make the claim
it
that
came out
his
weird.
thought process was that of a flat earther.
That has got to be that this tells you the mindset of somebody. When you think Red's rhetoric is on the mindset of a flat earther, you know you've jumped the shark.
It's the antithesis.
He
Yeah.
records rocket launches and landings.
This is what I'm saying.
on.
This is what I'm saying. There's so many people watching YouTube. If you want to be that person who thinks Red's rhetoric is on the same level as a flat earther because Vaping Vader says so, my heart goes out to you. Go with God. Be one with the universe. What the fuck you ever want to believe, but you're just an idiot. You're just an idiot. I don't know.
Hang on. In this entire situation, we have to remember there are two people here. One is the type of person who actually legitimately states that, well, stated at least once, that the phases of the moon are a direct result of Earth's shadow
yeah.
on the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and then the others are just an ugly fucking asshole from Florida.
And then he was saying, well, anybody could debunk flat earthers because, it's not that hard. We kind of forget shit. I'm like, you forgot that the Earth moon's phases are not due to the Earth's shadow? What the fuck does the Earth's shadow have to do with the moon's phases?
So-
Here's Earth, here's moon, here's sun. How's it going to look to us?
But Vaping Vader, like, he was, he was going on about how he's a debunker. He was shit at that.
No, he was never.
Honestly,
no.
he was.
Oh, God damn it.
He was the worst fucking debunker ever. If that's what he considered himself.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He's trying to slight the reputation of somebody like Reds, who has established himself as being a very ethical and honorable person, and I consider one of my best online friends that I've ever had. I have not met him in person. We tend to, but I love the guy. I would trust him with my life. I would trust him with anything that I had. If he said, "Steve, I need this," he's there. I know he's telling me the truth. He has my 100% respect and faith, and so anything that he needs, I will try to help him with. Right? Not many people have that in this community, right? Who would say, you know what, we trust Vaping Vader 100% on everything? No, bullshit. I don't think anybody would walk across the street to spit on him if he was on fire.
So real quick,
Go on, Carl.
So if someone could post, I put in our private chat a link to the Sky and Telescope article about the comet. I also put a link to a Wikipedia article that has some interesting facts about the comet as well. So if someone could put that to the general chat room, because Susan's banned me for life, then that would be I appreciate it, so people can
absolutely
follow up yourself.
and I was just going to mention something real quick.
Go ahead.
So about Steve's story, it reminded me of one of my favorite memories of when I was in the Coast Guard. And I remember it was on one of my probably third or fourth patrol, and we ended up going down south near the border, the equator. Mm-hmm. And the ocean water was so flat, like there was no wave. Well, there is waves, but you couldn't tell because of how far apart the waves are from each other, that it looked like glass. It was so beautiful. And we would go out, and back then I was a smoker, so we would go out to the back of the fantail because that's where we were only allowed to smoke. Mm-hmm. And we would go back there, and you would just see absolutely not a single bit of light pollution. So it was just like an animation. Absolutely.
Yeah, that is true. I remember many times being on the fantail in the Navy, seeing clear. But I gotta tell you, it was still clear on the road to Vegas. Was still the clearest I've ever seen it.
Well, deserts are really good places to do observing, and because of the lack of moisture in the air, because moisture helps, particularly when it sets, the thermal characteristics that cause the skies to be turbulent. So having a dry desert is
dry. It was the atmosphere. There was no. I mean, the stars didn't barely even twinkle. It was like the stars were suspended from
Excellent.
the
And
firmament.
that's really important, Steve. When you don't see this, when you see the
Mm-hmm.
stars twinkling, that's bad seeing conditions.
Yes.
Twinkling stars.
This was
it means
crystal
air
fucking
has
clear.
turbulence. And this one is when the rock's solid, no twinkle spots. That's when you get this fractional image thing.
Yeah.
So someone could take those two links that are in our little side chat and post them in the main chat.
And also, when I
smoke,
I can't do that.
I can't do that.
Who?
No,
Where's
it removes any.
Hang on.
a moderator needs to do that, or someone who's godlike powers like Steve.
Did you put it in the live chat?
It's on you,
Yeah,
Steve.
on our side chat here.
No pressure. Come on, this is Rum and Coke night. Come on. I was gonna say though, when I was out in the fantail smoking, like exactly as Vegan was saying, you're smoking. You have the cherry so it gets hot and that your eyes don't get fully adjusted either. So I got to take that into account too. Where did you post this, Landon?
On our
chat.
little
Google chat
internal
and the
chat.
Hangout.
There's two links.
I don't.
Yeah. While Steve posts that, Landon, another question.
I'm not seeing
So
it in
this
it's in here.
Comet was seen last 5,000 years ago. Was it?
So no, so this particular inbound period we think is somewhere around 4,400 4,800 years.
Okay.
The outbound's going to be about 5,200 years. So it's part of its outgassing by the sun's going to basically change the orbit a bit as it comes back out. So this fragment probably came from the last time it came through when this comet about 5,000 years ago, large comet broke up, and so the pieces that came from that when it broke up, it didn't. They had some little side momentum, so that's why it's not quite the same orbit coming out. And so we had great comets that have come out from there. There was an amazing, there's been amazing comets, for example, in 1843, 1844, 1106 that have come about. There's also been a particular, a comet group. For example, I believe it's the one that came about in the late 70s that had a fairly big. I could be wrong on that. But there's been several chunks that have come from this that have been actually quite spectacular.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
Well,
okay. She has a question. By the way, I saw a photo from the Comet Atlas live stream from Astronomy Live. It's quite visible. Yeah. I mean, with the proper equipment. Vegan, go ahead, and then Jared.
So you had mentioned, Landon, about we have an idea of what the gases are coming off on the end. Do we know what the actual comet might be made out of?
Well, we presume, that's a great question. We presume that essentially the gases are coming off of boiling off the surface. And not only you get the gases coming off that the sunlight catches, but also there's bits of rock and so forth. So comets typically, the good comets are bright comets are these sort of dirty snowballs, right? That they got all kinds of gravel and dust in them, as well as water and carbon dioxide in the comet. So this frozen ball is as it getting closer to the sun starts boiling away, right? So you get this gas coming out. The solar wind pushes it back. The dust that gets released in there also gets some charges, so it can be deflected by the sun's magnetic field. And so when it gets really bright, you get sort of a gas tail and a dust tail that kind of split off between the two, and you get these sort of forked sort of things. But we can tell from the spectrum what the materials are to a pretty good degree, and so its greenish tint is due to the sort of diatomic carbon that's inside, which is one of the things that these comets have, rocks and carbon, all kinds of other cool stuff inside them.
Alien life.
Awesome. Like tardigrades.
Well, there's a model that says a lot of the Earth's water came from comet impacts from the early bombardment.
Comet hypothesis.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a hypothesis, right? It's not a theory.
It is an actual hypothesis, because things like that really are tough to actually test to get the verification to go to theory, which is something that they often get wrong in the terminology.
Our progenitors could have been from another planet. I mean,
it is possible. It's very possible. But another thing, speaking of the outgassing that you were talking about before, Landon, it really, agree or disagree, it really is a great show of how, even still to this day, basic Newtonian mechanics is still applicable and is demonstrated and visible if you just know where to look.
Yes, it really does. Newtonian mechanics is a pretty good model for most of the universe.
We just found
I've
139
kind of
more
heard-
trans-Newtonian objects that are dwarf planets. I mean, there's we found a shit ton of them just recently. What was it, 139 or something, 140? I mean, there's been a lot, and that's because of perturbations in the in what we'd expect. And by the way, Newtonian
there
physics
a-
still works. Yes, Manya. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, it does work, but isn't there something like a hypothesis out there that as the size of any astral subject increases, the laws kind of start bending? It depends on the size of the
Which law?
object.
Well, a good point. I think what you're talking about that when you get masses that are so dense that they become black holes.
Yeah,
Our understanding of physics gets a little bit fuzzy, literally, right? Because even the boundary of the no return zone, general relativity says it's hard, and quantum mechanics says it's fuzzy. It probably is fuzzy in that particular case, but yes, but those are the really extreme cases. Right? For any object we see, planets and so forth, it's all.
So Land, let me ask you: there's a type of black hole that exists that you can actually formulate just from concentrated light, because light is energy and energy is mass as an equivalence formula there. So you can have a black hole just made of light particles. Do you think that it's possible to have a black hole that's just comprised of concentrated stupidity?
Yes.
Oh my.
Yes.
We have it on this Earth.
I begin to think there might be some formulas for that.
Because I think stupidity has mass, and also when it emits its stuff, right? It's releasing energy. It's going from potential to kinetic energy. So when the hot air of stupidity,
the hot air goes out there. The kinetic energy going to potential energy. It makes sense to me.
Yes. So, I know. And in fact, you can think about having a stupidity reactor, where the question is, if you get too many people in one spot and they tweet, all of a sudden you get a flash, one of those flash events, just like a reactor.
Yeah. Or if there's one source that emits so much stupidity that the meter just strikes,
we need to come up with a value.
I'm very sure I found one spot on this planet. I know that.
We'll call them one Vader, two Vaders.
That would have happened.
So how many Vaders do you need to formulate to find a black hole?
They have a renewable energy source.
Right? You solve the world's problems right there without even trying.
Yes. There we go.
I think the mathematical formula is Vaping Vader plus Sleeping Warrior equals, that should work.
Yes.
Yeah. So give it a try.
Flurful. Yeah, exactly. Somebody in the live chat says a flurful. Yeah.
Right now, with good binoculars, a small telescope, you can see it, and it's a nice little fuzzy spot. It may put on a great show. It may not. It kind of depends on things. So I think but certainly it's a nice, because it's a good chunk from a known family of comets that have put on.
I'm
great
looking forward
shows
to it. I saw Hellpop in Utah back in the 90s, and
I have another question.
Well, you're just inquisitive as shit today, aren't you, Vegan?
Please.
Well, this is like one of my favorite topics.
Of course. We know. Go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, I promise my last one.
No, by all means. No, don't stop.
Come on.
Don't stop.
Keep them coming.
Did we give you the safe word yet? Did we say cappuccino yet? We didn't say cappuccino. Sweet, did you say cappuccino? Because I don't think you did. I thought all this time I thought she was just really thirsty for coffee.
Keep the questions coming, man.
Right.
Go ahead, Vegan.
So, okay. Linda, you mentioned that it is like it took 4,000 or so last time we saw it, 4,000 years or so, and then it'll probably come back around. But do we know that if it's like slowly coming closer or if it's moving away from us?
Well, the inbound. Great question, by the way. I think the inbound stuff.
She's smart.
The period is around 4,800 years. The outbound period appears to be about 5,200 years. So that says it's going to go farther from the sun before it returns, right? So the way that the sort of outgassing and being tugged by planets as it goes by, we chart to course, and we think that's going to basically take a little bit longer to come back around this next time. So you have to again plan it on there. But again, it's around that 5,000 year period, which is approximately one Steve, pay Steve the money he's owed.
Yeah, one Kyle.
Period.
Yeah, one Kyle. Who, by the way, said, it's been 260 some odd days, whatever it's been, since I was promised I'd be paid money. Love that. Yeah, Steve will get paid every time that's due him. Yeah.
Steve, I really commend your patience on that.
Right? But I'm telling you, I don't know how I have so
You've
much
got
patience.
a patience of a saint. I went through a tribunal once.
It's tough, Manya. I have patience, but you know what? Go ahead, Amanda.
Go ahead. No, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm letting the due process of the court system do its job. That's all. And I have great friends that have supported me.
So this comet, is going to go a quarter of the distance from Earth's sun when it passes close. It's the far spot is about 662 times the distance of Earth's sun. So much farther. I mean, order of magnitude more than Pluto is from the sun. And this next period is going to lengthen by about 400 years. So
Oh wow! Cool.
it'll get a little bit. Its swing is getting a little bit farther out.
If it survives.
Is it the slingshot effect of the gravity? Is it?
And also the outgassing, right? The outgassing.
Yeah, it's more so the
outgassing is going to change the.
Okay.
It's like giant rockets are being pushing it around, so it's going to have a tug thing. Now, also, what happens sometimes is that comets break up. I mean, because it's undergoing a lot of forces in there, and getting heated up, so it's possible the thing can shatter. And if it shatters, then you get a huge increase of surface area. Surface is what outgasses, and so it'll become really, really bright if it shatters, right? So we always hope for a nice breakup because then you get all kinds of pieces. It looks really cool.
Fireworks.
Oh, cool. Yeah, would it be like fireworks?
Wouldn't it be cooler for us to be like remain intact though? Because then you get like big.
Yeah.
One big
because but say for example, the next great comet after what was this disappointing thing of Kohoutek was a comet west, which considered to be like this thing, hum-hole, but as it was passing near the Earth, it split into 4 pieces.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it had these fragments, and the tail went over 100-degree arc in the sky, right? That night.
Wow.
That came out there was amazing stuff. So it can go get bright, but we'll have to see on what it does. Again, no chance. It's not going to endanger the Earth. It's going to put on a nice. It might put on a nice show, particularly for those that are on the other side of the flat Earth, right? Because just be kind to them. Don't stomp on the ground because it disturbs them on their ceiling, right? and for those southern hemisphere alleged Australians, be sure to secure your ground harness before going
alleged.
To the sun.
Yeah, I'm convinced they're just British people pretending to be.
I have another question
on the southern hemisphere.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just kidding on that flat Earth stuff, by the way.
Oh, we know. Can I ask my question?
Yes.
Please.
Is there any article or website that can help with the calculations with predicting the path of this comet or any other comet like out there? Any website or any link or anything like that?
Well, one of the links
calculation.
that I posted both in our link and then somebody posted to the chat room. The Sky and Telescoping has a nice map that shows you where it is over the years in the sky, and also that Wikipedia location also has a spot. Again, right now it's around 7th magnitude. It's about Uranus brightness, so it's a little bit too faint for some of the best eyes to see it in the darkest sky. But with a little bit of binoculars, a small telescope, you might be able to see a fuzz. And again, the coma is showing around. It's showing the coma is almost about 3/4 of a degree, although because it's so spread out, it's going to be hard for you to tell the difference. And a little bit tiny tail, about the tail, maybe about this third the diameter of the moon. So it's not if you don't know what a comet looks like, a faint comet looks like, you might not be able to pick it out right now. But as it gets closer to the sun, it's going to get warmer. As it gets warmer, it's going to outgas and spew out more stuff. So the show's only going to get better and better and better as it goes past there. And again, I think the probably the best show for the Southern Hemisphere after it passes the May 31st close approach into June in the Orion area will probably be the better show. And we'll know. By that time, we'll know whether or not it's broken up, it survived, it probably will. Whether it's a bright comet or a dull comet, I mean, they kind of come in all kind of shapes.
Well, we'll know in a couple months.
That's
and
makes it exciting to check it out.
Yeah, and like I said, check out Astronomy Lives and Red's Rhetoric's videos on those because they're actively, watching the comment. By the way, I like having these Rum and Coke nights later on. I think 7, 8, 9 is optimal for me. I know a lot of people in the UK it's late for them, and I know a lot of people at the East Coast. I don't know why, but I have more people watching at like 7 or 9 o'clock my time than I do if I do it like early in the day to get in the UK and get the East Coast. But whatever. I do it at this time because I want certain people to be able to join that I know want to join, and so they tell me, "Hey, do it at this time," because I want them in the program. But let me know what kind of works for you. But I think 7 is really optimal for these types of these hangouts. Don't you,
Excellent.
Brandon? Does that work
As
for you?
someone,
Absolutely.
Complaint?
Sweet. She's on the East Coast.
As someone on the East Coast like Swede, actually not too far off, 10 p.m. local, not a bad choice on a Saturday night.
Yeah, I think that's. I think so too. It's like I said, it's not
Sunday 3 p.m. for me. It's very it's awesome.
Yeah, because you're in New Zealand. So the UK I can't do much about. I have to take certain priorities. Landon, Sweet, the people that are in the. vegan, you're in the East Coast too.
Don't
so.
throw me under the bus.
I'm in
Blame
Central.
Sweet. That's all. Yeah, blame Sweet. Fuck her, right? Whatever.
I'm in Central, so not quite East Coast, but yeah.
Hey, Sweet, why don't you move to a better time zone?
There we go.
I live in the best.
By the way,
God's
auditor
with internet.
Yeah. So God's auditor, by the way, who's a good winemaker. He made some fantastic wines that gave me last time I was up in Seattle when you could travel. Asked about, and he's drinking Mathis hard cider, and
that sounds good actually.
And by the way, he gave me some of that cider. That's excellent cider there. So he asked me what kind of wine I'm drinking. It is Cirque here, which is part of the it's part of the Costa Brown family. It's a Bootlegger's Hill 2015 Pinot Noir.
Now I know you were up in Seattle. I know you were up in that area, and you saw God's auditor.
So Bootlegger's Hill.
But
How
Landy,
long are we gonna stay on this thing now? Just a question.
Sure.
No. How long is this going on? Because
I don't know.
just realized I have a bottle somewhere.
Go nuts.
Dang it! I forgot about it. Hold on.
All right.
Go for it.
Go, man,
Okay, yeah. Hey, let's all stop Mania from drinking.
God's auditor.
Go.
His family makes great wine. They have fun.
But Landon, you're not traveling anywhere, Landon, right? I want to make sure.
No. I'm here. I've had virtual wines tasting for other people. Right? We get together and you each have a bottle.
You're playing safe. You're taking a few weeks to go. Okay, let's see what happens. And not going anywhere, right?
I'm
I
in
just
day
want to make sure your
12
health
of
is
my
okay.
Of my staying put.
Okay, good. Stay put.
Well, Landon, I'll just say I'm confined to quarters for at least 3 months now. So. Yeah, I'm because also I'm in the UK and I got the notice from our National Health Service that I'm at one of the severe risk categories because I haven't really talked about this much online, but I'll put it out there now. I have Crohn's disease, and I'm on medication called azathioprine, which is an immunosuppressant, which obviously messes with. So
bad time to be on
immune
immunosuppressant. Yes.
Yeah.
So
which is
don't
why
go
they basically
licking
told me
poles,
to-
Jeff.
Basically, literally, I'm yeah.
Oh my god.
Literally, I'm well. I've tried to stop Steve. It's so
It's hard. I like a good pole liquor, but I mean, just saying,
Okay,
don't
there
do
we
it.
go. Clip that.
I'm literally 6 days. I'm literally like 6 days into like a minimum 3 month stay at home period here.
Yeah, don't
So-
go out. You know, and that's one thing that everybody in here seems to recognize.
care.
Don't go out unless you really have to. I've had to go shopping, but I come back, wash your hands. Be smart about this stuff. These people, these idiots are like, oh, this is really no big deal. They're the ones dying, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like natural selection against idiocracy in action. So
Wasn't there a kid who licked the toilet seat and he got the coronavirus?
there was a guy. Okay, so one guy licked a thing of ice cream. He got 30 days in jail. Another guy licked what was it? He did something.
Yogurt?
It was a yogurt. I don't know, but he got charged with a terrorist threat. They're not messing around, people. This is considered to be a terrorist threat.
They should do.
Yeah.
He licked the deodorant sticks.
Yeah, those are like a Walmart.
Yeah,
There are too many
unfortunately,
of these
don't be
people
licking
to keep
anything
track
for a
of.
while,
It's a bad
people.
thing.
Just stop licking.
There are
Cappuccino.
people going
Cappuccino.
for-
Just stop licking everything.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll put this a little bit out there as well, then, 'cause I don't normally talk about where I work or whatever, but I have worked for 20 years in the postal. As a postal worker, I worked for the Royal Mail in Britain. Now, when I just not long after I started was obviously 9/11 and the fallout from that. Do you remember? Obviously, there was the anthrax attacks in the US. Well,
yeah, and then smallpox.
There wasn't an anthrax letter delivered in the UK, but there were a whole bunch of hoaxers, and at least 2 mail centres in the UK, and in one of them being the place where I work, had to evacuate for the day because of one of these hoaxers, because they put bloody talcum powder in a letter or whatever, and it designed to split in there.
People are assholes.
Yeah, that's still a threat.
And, well, let's just say the ones who were caught were charged on terrorism charges.
Yes, they should be.
Even if they thought
Yeah,
it was
it
a joke.
terrorizes people,
No,
man.
this isn't stuff like this isn't a joke. The same with people who were doing it, doing this stuff, whatever, with the ice cream. No,
It's just a joke.
disgusting. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if
Uh,
you yell fire in a theater, and even if there's no fire, if someone dies because they're trying to trample out of there, it's still your fucking
absolutely.
fault.
Yeah. Well, like I said, people don't understand what a joke is. This is why when people put out false screenshots of things, like saying, "Oh, this is somebody, saying this. I told you so." That's not a joke. I'm sorry.
Well,
accusing me of
Also,
hacking is
to
not
all
a joke.
Yeah, to all the idiots out there who are like, I'm healthy, I don't have it, so I'm not worried about what will happen to me. You idiot!
You're worried
might
about
be
other
carrying
people.
it.
But you know what's funny? You brought
You
that
might
up,
be
Manya.
carrying it, and you can infect someone else.
That's what it's about.
But
It's
hang on,
not to protect you, it's to protect other people.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And that's why, Manya, this is exactly what goes down between our community and piece of shit communities, because we recognize it's about other people. We look out for other people. We help other people. Other communities, I'm sorry, but they don't give a fuck about other people. They're in it for themselves.
No.
And somebody called like res narcissistic. Holy fuck! If people even knew how dumb that statement really is, because I heard somebody say that Vaping Vader said that like res is narcissistic. Oh fuck no! But
the guy that is so self-deprecating about his own face. Or
it's
whatever,
ridiculous. By the way, he even said that he even said that he had being diagnosed with that. No, I know what Reds. I know Reds has certain things that to him, but narcissism is not one of them. But I mean, it's just ridiculous, right?
Narcissism whenever it's convenient. Like, here you go, here you go, here you go.
Well, it's like if you disagree with somebody, they're a narcissist. Look, I believe there are narcissists around. I believe very strongly that the people I've gone against are true narcissists, only because I've seen their ego take precedence over facts, reason, logic, and because they give a shit more about themselves than they do their fellow man. They don't give a fuck about anybody else.
I believe that President Donald Trump is a narcissist.
Oh, absolutely. Fuck yeah. Dead on. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't think anybody in the right mind would question that. But here's the thing: there are people just like Donald Trump, though. When people have changed reality to fit their own narratives and do it because of egotism, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna put that under narcissism. When people lied about me and they said, for example, like me being a narcissist, how the fuck am I a narcissist? I am like self-confident, I'm confident, but I'm also self-deprecating, and I'm also very insecure about myself sometimes. I know this. But I would never, I've never in my life heard anybody use the word narcissism with me. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I have nothing to be narcissistic about. Neither does
Yes,
Reds.
But here's what I don't get about vaping.
11% alcohol.
Sorry, Manya.
Oh, what are you drinking, Manya, now? Oh, sorry,
What
Manya.
are we getting?
Hang on, Jeff. Manya's drinking. We have Manya, please.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, it's 11% alcohol, so yeah.
Nice.
Hold up.
Yay.
Hold up to the screen again.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm gonna look at the hold the bottle up to the screen again and talk so it can flip over to you. Get to say something, Manya.
Yeah. I had a peanut butter sandwich and I'm drunk and it's Steve's fault.
Okay. What?
You're
what
not even
year?
drunk. How can you even drunk? You just opened that yet? What are you talking about?
All right.
Wait. What are you talking about?
One second. I'm gonna drop out.
When I blame
Jared.
you, Steve, you take it.
Someone's dropping out.
Sorry. Jared,
Yep.
you saying?
I'm on the way out. Always been a pleasure, Landon. Great getting to talk to you, Steve.
Likewise.
Always a pleasure, dude.
Steve, you can go eat some shit.
Ah.
Nah, later.
Take care.
Hi,
See you later,
Jared.
Jared. Okay,
Bye,
well,
mate. Take care.
well, I'll just say, Manya, I'm on to my Captain Morgan right now, so.
Excellent.
By the way,
I've got-
somebody
I've
was
got- I've
hidden.
only got like a little half bottle, but
The person has
I
messaged
was
me about
gonna
their.
say,
Real quick, the person just messaged they were hidden. I fixed that, so refresh your browser and it should be fine.
okay.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I was just gonna say
What's it mean?
Vaping Vader. Obviously, he keeps calling you a narcissist. Well, he should know better because he's covered Onision, for goodness sake. He's done videos about
yeah,
him.
what makes I'm happy to talk about
If you
that.
want to see a narcissist,
What makes me a fucking narcissist? Because I don't think I'm an idiot, and then I have a following.
If you've covered Onision in the past and looked into him, which okay, I will hold my hands up, I have done. Maybe not to the levels that Nikki has, but
Nikki's psychotic on that. She's
Nikki's really done a deep dive, but I'm
deep,
kind of
deep.
But you want to see a narcissist on YouTube? That's the go-to
Absolutely.
guy.
Well,
I'm sorry,
Elysian and
you know.
Trump. I mean, what have I
Yeah.
ever done to even remotely make anybody think that I'm a narcissist? I don't even understand how that even be.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to, Steve.
I am.
Well, apparently you're.
Just because, sweet. Just because I'm better than you doesn't mean I'm a narcissist.
So you know what? When
That's because
Reds
you're
was
grooming.
I'm grooming Sweet.
You're grooming Sweet. You're
I know.
grooming Manya. You're grooming
Oh,
Cheshire.
yeah.
You're grooming Nikki. You know.
yeah, every other grown-ass woman out there, yeah.
Well,
You may even be
I've got
grooming me,
mad
Steve,
skills,
I
I
don't know.
guess, right?
Yeah. I went.
Did I tell you to talk,
heard,
Manya?
Hiroshi-
Did I give permission as a man? Oh.
Do I care?
No.
Do I care? No.
We're gonna do our next show on Steve. That's
All right,
it.
cappuccino.
When I heard Vaping Vader defending all his crap that he like spewed out against Reds and all the fundraisers and stuff, he actually sounded like Onision. He actually sounded like Onision. When Onision, he deflects from the topic and he brings in, tries to like, oh look, but what did that person do? They don't talk about their faults. They don't talk about the critiques that have been put to them. They start pointing out more faults in the people around them, and he actually sounded like that. I was like, oh my god,
That's
this
a
is
good
a
point.
new
I mean,
level.
that's why I asked
so
earlier.
much of what he
For
says is
Vaping Vader.
projection. You know,
Yeah.
he accuses other people of doing things he either does or
And that's what
wishes
they
he
do.
could do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've noticed that, and I know Sweet's noticed that. When people have actually, when they lay charges, I had to actually stop and go, what the fuck are they thinking? Then I recognized, and this was about 2 years ago, that certain people that say stupid shit is because they're the type of people that do it. That exists in their world, and that's why. And they do things like, for example,
Time for a refill.
people go ahead.
Yeah.
When people accuse people of running bullshit scams, they're the ones that probably would run bullshit scams. They think like that, And so I've come to that conclusion that a lot of these people that just throw these hypotheticals out there as fact, they're the ones probably doing something like that. Because again, I don't know any time Vaping Vader has helped anybody. How dare he criticize Reds, who I know for a fact has helped people out of the goodness of his heart, because he's a nice fucking guy. Why criticize somebody like that? Why would you want to go after somebody like that?
Well,
is that a secret that he's a nice guy? No, we already know he's ugly, Sweet, but people can know that he's he's nice. They just have to know that he's
the whole thing that pissed me off with Vaping Vader anyway was that not so much that he came after you, whatever. Okay,
I'm
he had
used
a
to
problem
that,
with
whatever.
you. He had a problem with you. Okay, fair enough. You got I say this. You got a problem with Steve. Yeah, say what you got to say about Steve, but don't go necessarily after every single person that associates with Steve. Just 'cause, I mean, like, why he dragged like the shills into the whole thing?
I have no fucking idea, dude.
Oh, God damn it.
Especially the stuff he said about dead Kennedy in space,
Yeah.
which I thought was disgusting.
I have no idea why he did
When
that.
he was mocking his mental health issues or
Yeah.
whatever. or his
'Cause he doesn't
depression
care.
issues. I'm like, that's fucking disgusting.
Doesn't give a shit.
It was,
Right.
It was, you
No
know,
ethics.
yeah, I mean, and it's like, but what did they do?
Nothing.
What did they do other than come on your channel for
Because
a
they're
chat?
friends of mine, and he can't reach me because I don't think twice about the fucker. I don't watch any of his shit.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm even mentioning him tonight is because of Red's video. Speaking of not talking about people, look who just
Daddy's
joined
here.
us. Oh my god! Oh my god! We have a superstar.
Everyone behave.
Behave. Daddy's home. Nicholas, Lamar,
Hey, Nick, how you
Suitor. Are you
doing?
alive?
You're muted, by the way.
You have to unmute.
Yeah, you're muted again.
Are you dead, by the way? You're not dead, right?
Okay,
the reports
Nick.
of my death are exaggerated.
Okay.
Hey.
You sound like it.
What?
How you feeling, my friend?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm functioning. I'm doing better. Just still having difficulty breathing, but doing better. Figured it out.
Yeah, well, Nick,
Don't go outside. Get a respirator, ventilator. Don't take fish.
Nick,
What is
well
that?
soon, my
Quinine. Oh, I know what that shit for the fish thing. Don't take whatever that is, by the way.
Does will the inhaler help in any way?
I have an inhaler. It helps a bit, and I have some meds. The other thing I'm doing is looking up some trolls and learning to meet them in public or meet them, for the first time ever. Limitations, getting real friendly with people.
Yeah, I'm not going to go to
Color
Boston
Piston
for
and
a
the
couple more.
dumper,
Like, yeah, when I go to see you, Nick, it's going to be a while. I want to see you, but I mean,
But, yeah.
I don't want to get your crusty crud stuff.
Hashtag lick your enemies.
Yeah.
Oh, I was pretty crusty crud not too long ago, so we're in the same boat.
Oh dear.
I'll chance your crusty crud. I don't know about Nick.
Oh man, hope it
Thanks.
passes soon, buddy. Oh god, it sucks.
I just want to grab Nick's cheeks and like just go like.
Yeah, I
What am
want to take it
That's
away.
weird.
I just want to take it away.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know, but I wanted to. It's been a while since I've chatted with anyone, so I wanted to.
Yeah, we miss
come
you.
on. So
Thank
thanks
you for confirming that you're alive and well and doing all right.
I've been checking on him,
We
make
missed
sure.
ya.
I want to make sure my bud's okay.
Steve's been staying in contact, so that's good.
Oh, Nick, hope you feel better soon, my friend.
And I keep laughing at him. I told you don't lick that pole, but he didn't listen to me.
Well, Dave was telling me because my girls and I went to a park and we thought it would be dead empty, but there's a lot of people there. There's even a baseball game, and like, okay, we're not going to hang around there. He thinks that's where I got it. I think I got it from a gas station. I wasn't paying attention. Used the pump.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. You literally have. We have to take certain precautions. And going out unnecessarily right now is probably not the wisest thing. Kawasa for 5,001 super chat. Kind of surprising, actually, more than 1,000 dead in U.S. alone within a few months. Be safe, everyone. It's going to be much more than that. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm predicting, even with the safety precautions, this will be one of the worst pandemics we've seen in the states.
Yeah, in New Zealand we had our first death. It happened today.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad before it gets better. It's not.
But
I don't think it's
when
going
I-
to wait in a few weeks.
We went to the supermarket today, and everyone was wearing face masks.
Yep,
And everybody was wearing gloves, and maintaining 2 meters distance. And you're only allowed a shopping time of 30 minutes. If they find two people shopping together, they will send one person out.
Yeah, they're
and
not
only
messing
one
around with this
person
stuff.
will go out.
Same thing.
No.
At the bank, they were letting people in. They had little X's, like you said, they're about 2 meters apart, and people were like standing on the X. And everybody I saw was, most of them were wearing gloves and masks. I don't have a mask, but I think the healthcare workers need them more. But I did when I go home. What the first thing I do? I wash my hands, right?
Yes.
So I mean, these are basic safety precautions. I think anybody who is not taking this seriously is a fool. is a
I
fool.
just
I would
shared
advise,
Yeah,
I would
absolutely,
advise
absolutely.
that if you're standing in a line and there's someone you see, a senior citizen, let them go in first. That's what we are doing here.
Smart.
The senior citizens are given priority, so they can jump the line.
Yeah.
And we don't mind it at all.
Our,
So if you can,
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Our
I got to-
supermarkets are doing the same thing.
See,
They're
I-
cleaning everything at night. They just clean.
Yeah,
everything,
I
scrub
saw them
everything at
wiping
night,
down
and the
everything when I was there. Yeah.
Bleaching
First
it,
few
yeah.
hours are just for the senior citizens, and the next morning they have a 2-hour window, senior citizens only.
Yeah, we have that early in the
That is
morning.
good.
They're for like an hour before the store opens. They're doing 65 and older first. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
I literally
Half of
just
what-
shared a thing on my Twitter about Hemet Meta actually shared it initially. There was a Naperville mega church pastor. I guess it was one of the lower pastors or whatever. Actually tested positive for Corona IV, and then
Fight bomb.
he actually asked a bunch of the people to not let anybody know, and then the assistant pastor or whatever went on to do certain events and things like that with family members and other people in their
Congregants.
Yeah.
Congregants.
So yeah, and that's not that far from me.
Yeah, that's
So,
ridiculous.
yay,
I mean,
That's a crime, in my opinion.
It is a crime.
Well,
We had
half
Yeah.
my
there was a few that actually.
Terrorism charges.
Well, there wasn't actually a few that actually even some mega pastors that said we're not taking any chances. Those are the smart ones, right?
Yeah, I mean, they think that their whatever is going to protect them, and it's ridiculous because it's
God
just
helps those who helps
putting
themselves. Anybody who
everybody
thinks that you're
else-
just going to pray this away, God's going to look at you and laugh if
Bullshit.
God exists. Yeah.
I see
So
very
I'm like,
little
what are we doing
difference
here?
between-
What sweet?
No, I see very little difference between doing that, encouraging people that way, and licking yogurt
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
You're
Well, I'm telling
encouraging
you right
people
now,
over it.
Vaping Vader is a yogurt licker. He's an ice cream licker. He'd be one of the. I think he'd be somebody who'd actually do some of that shit.
window licker. you
Window
mean?
licker.
Yeah.
Nah, he's the TS.
Sweet, we think we're like. Who said it? Same time. I was going to say something about obviously what's going on at the moment. I mean, I don't know how much you've seen what's going on in the UK, but half of our government has been tested positive now.
Really?
Pretty much.
Oh, I saw that.
Well, I think it's half. I think it's
Our
half the
prime-
planet that's going to eventually get it.
Uh,
Now, here's what
the
happens
pro-
though.
yeah.
It's possible.
The novel virus, right? The COVID-19 eventually become just like a cold virus. It is going to become basically inert. And because the virus is not supposed to kill the host. The virus doesn't want to kill the host. It doesn't want to kill you. It just wants to use an incubator. And so this new one, it hasn't figured that out yet. And so over time, and I mean that like not literally, but over time, over evolutionary processes, the hosts that survive, they're the ones that are going to eventually build up immunities, and eventually the virus is not going to be able to kill them. So it'll become just a fixture in the society over time. But now it's novel. We don't have enough immunities for it, and it's killing off the people that it doesn't want to kill off, because that's not what its thing. The virus doesn't want to do that, right? So it'll become like the common cold eventually.
I'm actually worried about the anti-vax community at this point.
They're idiots. Yeah.
I'm actually very, very much worried about them, because the way they behave, how they don't understand how you can contract like viruses from others, and you don't have to show the symptoms also to be carrying it. Yeah, I'm really
let me ask
scared
you
for
this,
them.
and I'll
I
ask
don't know
Nick-
where they're at this.
Let me ask you this.
I'll
I'll ask Manya and ask Nicholas and I'll ask Landon this question. The Jehovah's Witness, right now they're trying to work with blood to have platelets from blood. I get blood plasma, and they're going to be taking blood plasma from people that have actually survived the coronavirus. Jehovah's Witnesses are basically fucked in that regard, are they not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They have
fucked in
We
every
have
regard. I don't even
we
think
have a
they can use
community
a
here
ventilator.
called
Yeah.
we have a community here called Gloria Vale. It's a sort of like Jehovah's Witnesses, but they're a little toned down, but they do this almost the same things. They're a community. They're not in contact with the outside world. They do their own shit, jobs and everything, farming and everything. And actually they're not adhering to the rules that have been set out by the New Zealand government, and there's a concern regarding that here. And I'm worried for them too. Just being like, you know they're what they're doing is not right, and you might say they're being stupid, but at the same time, I'm worried for them
It
too,
could
and I'm
wipe them
worried
all out, though.
for
I
the
mean, in
people.
theory, it could legit
But
wipe out a lot of the Jehovah's Witnesses.
in that
hate to
process,
think that
Steve,
way.
they're
I
going
know, it
to
sucks,
they're
right?
going yeah, they're going to infect some innocent people who have been taking
That's
the
my worry,
precautions.
right? Exactly, and I
Yeah,
think
that's my biggest fear.
right, and I think mine is
Yeah.
spot on there. I don't care that they want to kill themselves. Look, that's
Well,
fine,
also,
but go ahead.
it's themselves, but you gotta think too, there are people within that, cult, religion, whatever you want to call it, that they're innocent. They're kids. They weren't asked. They didn't ask to be
Exactly.
born into that. They don't deserve that kind of abuse.
I agree, but what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the parents are idiots.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah. And please, to anyone in the audience, please don't go out and spread hate. It's much better that we spread out knowledge about all this rather than, go and tell them you're an idiot. Just repeat the information. Maybe someone will decide to absorb it and, act on it. So that's the best way to go about it. Yeah.
Education is key.
Yeah.
Well, this was
There
fun.
are a number.
Yeah, I'm drunk now, I think.
It's God is going to protect them and that whole nine.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. Look at even SJ says, "Hey, don't be stupid," and she's a diehard believer, but even she doesn't go.
Depends
hey,
what day you catch her on, doesn't it?
What's that?
Right,
When
exactly.
SJ is she's the common sense.
Walking contradiction.
Yeah, but at least she recognizes don't be stupid, right? I mean,
depending on the day, but sure.
Right.
Don't be stupid about the CV. You're 19, yeah. Yeah, look, I
on Twitter.
I don't want to take the chance, and so I'm just doing what I can. I don't want to be around other people because, like I said, I'm looking out for them as well. I think that's as a culture, we've come to the conclusion that for a successful society, you have to start looking out for other people. And this is, again, the difference between our community and somebody like Vaping Vader's community. That community over there, they don't give a fuck about each other. It's all about who can basically screw somebody else over, first or bigger. That's all it is. We're just not interested in that, And yeah, I saw Gary. I saw what you just picked. Yeah, the picture that we're all gonna die eventually. But
eventually.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyways, this was a fun Rum and Coke. I mean, we got a lot of stuff out, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you know what? Even though I didn't drink
And
that
seriously
much,
huge.
that's all I drank was about that much rum. But I'm not a big drinker. But even that, I could feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only I
And
only had
huge
that much.
thank
So.
you to Landon for letting us pick his brain.
You're most kind. Thank you very much, and I'm always glad to share my favorite universe with friends.
So it's Manya gone, is she?
Manya, you just started drinking. How did you get drunk?
I don't know. Maybe maybe because I've had this after a long time. I think so. Last time I had it was like 6 weeks ago or something. So maybe
gosh,
that's
yeah,
why.
that'll do it. You're starting over.
Oh, she's
Sorry.
a alcohol version.
Sorry, Manya. I was just to say, I was whilst I was outside, I was just listening in on my phone, but it was like a few seconds behind you, so you can. It's something I may want to ask you about privately, just on behalf of a friend of mine at some point. So if I could get in contact with you.
Hey, if somebody hits on Manya, they're gonna go through me. I'm the gatekeeper.
I'm not hitting. Not hitting on
Steve
you.
owns us all.
Not hitting.
Dowry.
Steve.
Come on. It's gonna cost you, bitch. Yeah.
No, it's not hitting on you, but it's something I perhaps would like to just ask you privately, maybe not on stream, but
just leave a message on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe on behalf of a friend who's a YouTuber in the community, so who's
Manya's got a secret admirer. How cute.
And I like what Kawasa just said.
No, somebody wants to talk to an ex-Hindu, basically.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Let's do this.
There's someone
Okay.
in the
Okay,
community
Jeff.
that I know wants to. It's someone in the community. He's spoken to a lot of obviously ex-Christians, Muslims, or just Abraham. But he wants to get perspective from someone who's from an ex-Hindu. He's looking for ex-Hindus or ex-Sikhs or whatever, immediately said ex-Hindus. I don't know why. I just immediately thought of you. You're the only one in the community I really
Yeah,
know.
I do come from that community, and I'm kind of from the core of that community. So we
Yeah.
have different classes. So we have Brahmins and we have Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, and there's another one. And we come from the Brahmin class. They're known as the priest or the teacher class, like who teach. So that's us.
I know a YouTuber. He's well known in the community. Friend of mine. Steve's been on his channel before. I won't say on air just in case we can't get nothing.
Let's do this.
But I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you if you're willing to do it. I'll put you in touch with the guy.
Yeah, that would be great.
Monier likes to be in touch with guys.
Yeah.
Steve would know that.
Funny.
At the moment, I don't want to say on air who I'm talking about, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries.
All right, I will trust Jeff to make sure Monier's okay.
Yeah.
I'm just a protective of her.
I'll tell you, Steve. I'll tell you off air.
Monier's a grown up.
I understand that doesn't mean I can't be protective of her. What do you think? I mean, she's a grown up, but I mean, if she wants to say, "Hey, Steve, I'm going to get drunk and I'm going to head to the bar by myself and do this, and this, and not watch my drink," I'm going to tell her, "Don't be doing this," right? So I have to. I mean, I watch out for my Manya.
Yeah, I
You
know.
make sure she knows what she's getting into.
Well,
Right.
let's put it this way: if I went off air, I'll tell Steve who we're talking about, and I'm sure Steve will vouch for the guys.
Rhetoric,
cool.
yeah. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so I guess we're going to be wrapping this up. It is getting kind of
Hey,
late, and I'm
Steve,
going to
did you
eat.
see Kawasa's suggestion?
What's Kwasa's suggestion?
He says we really should end on that epic and all.
Yeah, no, I was going to play the song as the outro. Yeah, actually. Yeah, I'll do that, Kawasa.
Oh, that would be good.
No, by the way, I do not have a pimp hand. These are very independent women, but I care about them, and I do mean that very sincerely.
Yeah.
So they don't listen to me, but
It's
doesn't mean I
hard
don't
for
care.
some people to believe that women can think for themselves, especially like adult women. Yeah, for all of them.
I look. I tried to take Validation's boy's advice. I looked at his videos and I took notes. I tried. It just whatever. Made no sense.
Oh, it didn't work for you? It's such good advice.
Shut the hell up. Did I tell you you could speak?
Women weren't falling at your feet.
Oh, Jesus.
I was just going to say something, and maybe it'd be good as a kind of closing thought in a sense. That obviously with what's going on in the world at the moment, and we've seen an awful lot we've seen an awful lot of the worst of humanity over since this crisis began. We've seen a lot of rubbish, but a couple of things that have happened in my country in the last couple of weeks.
Oh shit! Did I mute the wrong person? I meant to be Brandon. It sounded like I don't know what he was doing, but I was like, I'm sorry, Jeff.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at.
I don't know. Hey, no, Brad. I don't know what you were doing. I don't want to know what you were doing. I just
No.
We were
Okay, let me
putting
explain.
technical stuff.
I didn't mean to mute you, Jeff. How did I mute Jeff?
Then sent me a picture of where the comment was going.
I hate meats.
I'm sorry. Can I just finish my thought? What I was
Yes,
saying?
please. I'm sorry.
I was saying, I've seen an awful lot since this crisis began of the worst of humanity with some of the stuff that's going on. But so a couple of things I've seen in the last couple of weeks and week or so that have maybe restored my faith in humanity a little bit. That in my country, when they put the health service put out a request for volunteers, almost 500,000 people volunteered to help with this. And something happened the other night. It was something that started on social media initially, and then it got caught up by the mainstream press, and they promoted it. And it was like a couple of days ago, Thursday it was, we had a thing at 8 o'clock at night called Clap for Carers, and the whole idea was to come out and people just come out, just step outside their front door for a minute and give applause to healthcare workers for 1 minute. And I promise you, I went out on my street and like everyone out there was just stepped outside their door and gave that minute, round of applause. And it's just, it's just little things like that that maybe restore my faith in humanity a little bit, because we've seen so much of the worst of people through this. It's good to think about there is the best of people coming out in this whole thing as well.
I agree with that. And by the way, I do think that the overwhelming majority of the planet probably are decent people. What I see though is when you have shitty people tend to be the most loudest. They tend to get the notice because they're like, look at me, I'm a shitty person. I'm going to say shitty things for views and to have people donate to me through my PayPal for vape juice and smokes because I'm going to tell you what you want to hear.
Get me Red Bull and vape juice.
Yeah. And so if that's the channel that you're looking for, you're not going to find it around here. I'm not going to be doing that. I want people to subscribe and become members because they like the content and they have fun. And they like the fact that we're doing the Rum and Cokes and the Ask of Philosophers and the DEFCON 1 Science and all the things that we do on this channel. In the interim while we get the Non Sequitur show back, that's what I want people to like. And, if somebody else wants to go watch other shit with people that are just outright bullshitting, whatever, what am I going to do? I mean, I'm not their fucking parent. But I want people to see the distinction between the quality of people that come in here and the people that associate with people like Vaping Vader, because they're not good people. And I'm just telling you straight out, they're shit people. They're just people that want to put out false narratives for views. And this has been demonstrated time and time and time again. They're into trolling. I mean, for example, that the whole thing with the whole 4-paragraph thing that was supposedly a tweet that I did, it was a joke. Okay, no, bullshit. And first of all, even if it was supposed to be a joke, that's just trolling. I'm not into that kind of bullshit. I want to put out stuff that is informative, educational, fun, entertaining. That's what I'm about. When people try to assassinate me, all they're saying is that they don't have any skill set to actually refute anything that we talk about, or to talk about the topics we talk about. That's all I see, right? I mean, do you think Vaping Vader could actually have a conversation with half the people that we have conversations with? Do you think him and Landon would have a conversation on comments? No. I mean, let's be realistic here. So, I mean, I want to leave people with that understanding is that there's a huge dichotomy between the community that we have fostered in the Great Debate community and this channel and, yes, the Non Sequitur show that is not going to be overcome by shitty people. I mean, they could try, and I hope they never succeed, but we're going to fight back every step of the way to point out the shit things that they do. And the whole narrative of these GoFundMes is absolute bullshit. Because, again, I will donate. You message me and say, I have evidence. I will put $100 and we'll give it to Landon as a equity, escrow.
Sure.
I will send him $100. You send him $100, and we will have Landon. We'll use it as a moderator, and you show me that I have somehow done some fraudulent GoFundMe, that I've gotten $10,000 or $1,200 from any kind of GoFundMe at any time, and you'll win the bet. You'll win that. That's all you got to do, and I'll do that to the end of the month. Landon, you okay with that?
Sure.
Okay. And you know what? I guarantee nobody's going to take me up on that, but I hope they do because it's for charity.
You're talking about to March 31st?
Yeah, I always have to put some end date on something. So, yeah, March 31st.
Yeah,
Give it a few days.
Very long. Yeah.
Well, whatever. I mean,
31st,
I like to put end dates on something because it's just.
Yeah. And by the way, again,
I'm not worried about anybody actually following through on this land because I know that never happened. I never made a dime off.
Even though there's lots of scary things happening with this virus, I still live in my favorite universe, and there's lots of wonderful things to explore and to experience. So, stay safe and enjoy this amazing universe that we live in.
It's great. Yeah, exactly. All right, leave you guys last thoughts. I already did mine.
And beautiful universe.
Manya, do you have any last thoughts? And by the way, thank you for joining us tonight, Manya.
No worries.
Thank you. And Nicholas, get well soon.
Nicholas, don't die on us.
Please.
I don't plan on it.
Yeah, there are more years down the lane where we pick your brains. Yep.
All right, so who wants to leave us with last thoughts?
Yeah, just
go ahead. Go ahead, Manya. Sorry.
Yeah, just stay safe. Yeah, wash your hands, and please don't be selfish. You know how this works. If you don't know how this works, look on internet. You will find it, how all this virus and how the infection works. So you will be more educated on it. Spread the education around, and as Landon said, enjoy this beautiful universe you live in. Yeah, we are here for only a couple of more million years. Million years? I guess million or.
I don't think we'll last another million years. I think we'll speciate before then.
And so enjoy while it
All right. So with that, raise a glass. Thank you, Rum and Coke night. We'll see you next week, and
Cheers.
Leave you guys with the opener to watch the brilliant Dick Dawson, aka Canadian Thomas's video again. We'll be muted, so they won't be able to hear us, but you'll be able to watch the video. And good night.
Good night.
Unirock went on YouTube, he was looking for a fight to pick. He was in a bind, cash flow behind, and he really needed them clicks. When he came across old Steve McRae streaming with his partner Chesh, and a Unirock went on a slippery slope of narcissistic bullshit. Well, I'll call you both liars and say that it's just crap. And if you care, I'm gonna swear and I'll serve you up a slap. Now you talk total shit, Stevie boy, and Cheshire, she's a clown. I got a bottle of rum and I'll prove you're dumb and Uni runs this town. Well, Steve said, boy, you're crazy and this is gonna be fun. I'll take you on and prove you're wrong and watch everyone's laughter, son. Stevie, sharpen up your claws and get ready for war. Cause Unirock went on YouTube with his lies and so much more. And if you win, you get to show he is a real fuckwit. A real head case, a total piece of shit. Uni opened OBS and said I'll start this stream. Vape pen in my fingerless gloves, damn I'm looking mean. And he pulled some shit right from his ass and splashed it on the screen. Trash talking chest like a drama queen and fucking up the scene.
Get Dick Dawson the fuck off my channels. Dick, fuck you. Go to hell. Suck it. What does this have to do with the evidence that I put out about Steve McRae cyber-stalking and harassing Kyle Curtis? About the non-sequitur breakup that completely changed the fabric of the story. In perpetuity, if you'd like. But I'll tell you one thing. I call your bluff. You're a keyboard warrior. You do not intimidate me, or I wouldn't be doing this stream. Now that's versus mode part 2. Now you know why Steve hates me.
When Uni finished, Stevie said, my God, you're such a tool. Now shut it down and shut your mouth, you motherfucking fool. Uni on the YouTube telling his lies. Stevie on the case got him in his eyes. Uni play the victim, poor little me. Just to call bullshit, little bitch, please.
Unirock is just so dishonest that I really don't even know what to say about him. Let him run his narratives. He was astronomically wrong about AT2, Jared, and myself and other people. Nobody ever doxed him. Unirock is just a bully. I don't even know what to, and that's all I want to say about Unirock. I mean, I don't even know what to add about him. He is a piece of shit.
Uni bowed his head cause he knew that he'd been beat. And he laid that golden microphone right down at their feet. Stevie said, hey Uni, man, it's too bad you had a YouTube fit. But maybe now you'll learn you shouldn't talk all your bullshit. Uni on the YouTube telling his lies. Stevie on the case got him in his eyes. Uni play the victim, poor little me. Just to call bullshit, little bitch, please.